Good afternoon and welcome to Locally Hated Podcast. I'm your host, Jessica, aka the news lady. I have today with me the IT Lord, Greg Lord, and Galen. And then I have some new faces with me today. From the right over here, I got Mr. Todd Johnson, Mr. Ty Johnson, and Mr. Ryder Johnson. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. So this podcast was Galen's idea. Galen said May is the month of racing. And I want to have some racing stuff on here. Of course, Greg jumped right in on that, and so here we are. Mr. Todd is, from my understanding, a legend down south in dirt track racing. Is that correct, Todd? No,
I'm not a legend. I just been racing.
Okay, so from my research, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm hearing something about the Bayou Bullet.
That's Ty.
That's Ty. Okay, so I found that in some of my research, and so it's number 49. Okay, so what kind of car was that?
Ty's car was a sprint car.
Sprint car. Okay, so what kind of car did you have?
Late model.
Oh, you had more than one.
Superstock.
Okay.
Wing modified and a sprint car.
So are you still actively racing now?
We all retired from that.
All retired, except for Ryder.
I would say Todd would be the original Bayou Bullet. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you could say that, but they call me something else.
I bet they did.
Well, we kind of went with fast ass, coon ass. You know?
Okay.
We had that on the race car. Yeah, that's what it was.
I got you.
But he became the Bayou Bullet when he started racing sprint cars.
And then Ryder rides bikes.
Ryder's a BMXer.
BMXer. Okay. So and then if those of you who may not know, Galen is also a multi-time championship race car driver, dirt tracker. So what, were y'all active at the same time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We raced each other.
Okay.
He even let me drive his car one time.
He drove my car. And then I don't remember what year it was. One year I was like taking the year off and I lent the motor to him.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, that motor must have matched that car perfectly because he won everything.
Won a bunch of races.
Toward the end of the year, it was like he won like 6 or 7 races, like half the season on. State champion. Did you win the state championship?
I won the state championship race at Forest Hill.
Yep.
I won their points championship. Yep. And then I think we went to Manny, won that championship there. Went to Beaumont, won that there, and I think right here in Leesville, won that.
All with my little bitty late model engine. Bill Doucette built that engine.
Right.
Ooh, shout out to Bill Doucette. I like that guy.
A local Cajun.
Yeah, I like that guy.
He's still building motors today.
Is he really?
Yes, he is.
He's from Lawtell.
Yeah. Can you tell?
Yeah.
He's from Lawtell.
So y'all didn't have any any pit beef?
No.
Oh, no.
No. Okay.
Not at all.
Pit beef is my favorite.
I don't even know if we ever wrecked together. We may have. I don't know. Not much if we did.
Well, I'll tell you a story. So one time, you and Anthony my brother, Anthony, y'all must have had some beef at some point. But anyway,
we did. I don't remember.
Todd said it was one-sided.
This would have been early on. This would have been like 92. Remember when your uncle was this would have been our first year. We were rookies. So every year we would go out, we would be at the back of our heat race or whatever. We were just trying to learn, him too, all of us. Yeah. This was 92, 93. For the features, he thought it would be fun to put the slow guys up front. So every week we were up front. And it was like drop the green, all the way around. Anyway, I remember one night. Remember the foggy night? It was so foggy that night. You couldn't see the other end of the track. That's the night this four-wheeler guy, he messed up, hit the wall or something. He had to bring a helicopter in and land in the center. Well, it got so foggy about 2 a.m. And we was out there racing, and we were in the back.
Y'all were still racing at 2 a.m.?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. We were racing, and we couldn't see the other end of the track, couldn't see the leaders. It was foggy. And Todd was right in front of us, and I don't know what was going on with Anthony that night because he only raced that one year. But anyway, he pulled up beside of me, and I looked over at him. I went like this, and he pointed at you and went.
He's going to break me in half. Oh, bro.
And I went, what the hell?
Oh,
what the hell's going on?
I might have wrecked him. I don't know.
You probably
didn't.
Bumped him. He got his little feelings hurt.
I don't know. I never wrecked nobody on purpose.
Rubbing his racing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Rubbing his racing. I never wrecked nobody on purpose. That's for sure.
No. Never?
Never.
Oh, okay. Well, those were my favorite things.
I threatened a couple of them, but I never wrecked nobody.
So one night I remember, what were the little bitty ones called? Not the Stingers, the one that was before the Stingers. They were Stingers before Stingers.
They had a little four-cylinder class.
That's
Yeah,
all I
what
can
was
remember.
it called? Mini stock?
Mini stocks.
Probably mini stock.
Yeah, mini stock. That was it. So I watched a guy one night, and I really don't know the beef, and I'm not going to call any names, but I did at Leesville track watch this guy, and he at the very end of the race spun the winner out and pushed him all the way halfway across the track and into the wall.
It happens.
Like it was major beef.
I've only been going to races all my life, and I promise you, I've seen a lot of that stuff happen.
Lot
and
of
worse.
stuff.
And worse.
Yeah, I mean, it does happen because temperatures flare, and there's a lot of money involved, and when people start, that's where when it hits you in the pocketbook, that's where people start getting upset.
Yeah.
My first little beef with was probably, I'm gonna drop my first name here. Probably with Jody Fontenot. he come on the scene, I think in 94, 95. He didn't start in 92. He come on the scene in 94, 95. I hadn't won a feature yet, and me and him was going at it. I think you had moved on by then.
I think
moved up a class.
Yeah, it was. We did a Superstock. 92, 93.
Yeah.
94, we went to that late model Sportsman.
Yeah.
And in 95, I got a wing modified.
We got a wing modified.
Yeah. So it was a full blown wing?
The wing modified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you race against Dane Jordan?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Absolutely. Beat Dane Jordan.
Did he really?
Yes, he
I don't
did.
think I ever watched anybody beat Dane Jordan.
I beat him. I beat him.
Not at
Not many
Leesville.
people beat Dane Jordan, but Todd did.
Yeah, I remember that name. That because it was always that guy was the one that was always winning. I don't know that I ever met him. I just remember hearing his name.
Dane Jordan, well, Rick Court. There was some pretty good drivers back then.
That was some of the best racing I ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was back in
was
the
fun.
heyday. So when there was Thunder Valley, not Thunder Valley, Leesville. I remember the guy. What was the guy's name? He blocked all the time. I think his name was Butch Guidry. I don't think
Butch?
he was a championship blocker. He was really good at that.
Well, I mean, okay, so give the man his props.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when I was a kid, I'm talking about 7, 8 years old, Butch Guidry was racing at Leesville. So,
Really?
And then we're talking about in 2012, he's still racing in Leesville, and that would have been in the 70s that he was racing when I was a kid.
Well, this would have been in the 2000s when I saw him racing. So
Yeah.
he'd been racing
a
a long time.
He-
Yeah.
Some of them guys just they stick with it. Like Daniel Morrison, he raced up until his age. John Lovis, he's from Forest Hill. He raced late models until
Probably late 60s, I guess.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So how did you get into racing?
My uncle's raced since 1970.
Really?
My
Okay.
grandfather.
Who's your uncle?
Uncle Keith Johnson. He's the one that ran Forest Hill from 92 to 98.
So this is
98 was his
98,
last year.
yeah.
a multiple generation
Racing
sort
family.
of thing. Okay. So it's just in your DNA.
Yeah.
You got to go racing.
Well, I raced. My two uncles raced, Keith and Craig, which was my cousin Jason Johnson's dad was Craig. That's the one who got killed in the sprint car.
Okay.
He was a World of Outlaw driver. So, yeah, we have a long racing history.
And y'all started in 92?
92 is when we started, yeah.
Okay. And you said you started did you start in a Superstock?
Yeah, I started in a Superstock.
Okay. And
Yeah,
what?
that first one was a boat.
Well,
You built another one the next year.
It was the same frame. I bought this chassis in 91, and it was a Superstock car from Texas. So we had
Okay.
to take the roll cage out, put the right thickness roll cage in it. And then the next year, I put a different body on it. People thought it was a different car.
It wasn't
the same old ugly
You put
car.
Chrysler Springs on it.
Yep.
Yeah, them Chrysler Springs were something else.
Yeah, they were used too from Smiley's. And I got them out of a junk pile. We were throwing them away.
I'm telling
I
you,
swear to God.
he put this body on this car, and I said, Todd, you're going to catch hell for this. Because we had a wheelbase length. It was 106. And that car looked like it was 100 inches. And
The body was so
man,
hard.
he caught 10 kinds of hell. They had tape measures all over that car. And I'm going, and once you check it, it's checked. Then the next week we have the whiners, and I ain't gonna mention the whiner names, but anyway,
I even brought the
yeah,
the deal to
leave me
measure them.
alone.
Yeah.
You ever notice though, the old guard versus the new guard? Hey, they didn't like it when we started. I started winning a few heat races, and then they started coming by looking at my car, and I ain't want no feature. I'm going, why are y'all looking at my car? I just want a heat race. Give me a break. But it happens. It happens.
Hey, whenever I brought that, it was just a metal bore with 2 pins on the side.
I remember.
For the wheelbase. Well, they say it's still short. So I said, y'all take the darn thing and measure it yourself. So they had 3 guys they was pulling and yanking on it. I said, one of y'all can't beat me. Y'all can't even use a damn measuring stick. Ooh, I thought I was going to fist fight with 200 in the pits of that one. But it didn't happen.
Todd didn't have it easy anyway because his uncle was running the track. So
so they thought you had the upper hand. Okay.
Sometimes they did, yes. But
racetrack conspiracy theories.
Yes.
It does happen though.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, that's just going to come with it. That comes with the package.
And as you know, me and Keith was hot and cold. Most of the time off the track, Keith and I, we were good. But when he would perch himself up in the center of that track, and sometimes I disagreed.
Well, I mean, we all do. I've disagreed with him a few times myself. But I told him before I started racing, I said, if you ever have to make a call it against me. You know, that was a deal we'd made before I started racing. I might not like it, but if I'm doing something wrong, call it against me. So
what year was it you got up and started announcing the races?
Well, before
you didn't race that year?
Well, I started racing in 92, I think, for a few races. And the car wasn't worth a darn.
Right.
So I decided to rebuild it. So that's what I did. I said, I'm going to announce on a Saturday night while I'm rebuilding a race car.
Gotcha.
That's how that went down.
And you did that at Forest Hill?
Forest Hill.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, but you're from down south?
Yeah, we're from Eunice.
Okay. And your uncle owned Forest Hill?
No, he leased it from Clyde Holloway.
Clyde Holloway.
Okay.
So Clyde used to be he wasn't a state senator. Was he a U.S. representative maybe?
I don't know.
Anyway, he was in politics, and he owned that nursery and had the track there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was on his property.
So what would, and just like a general question, what would you say like the official smell of a racetrack is?
Methanol.
Methanol fumes, that's what it was.
With the cherry bomb in it.
Oh, you like the cherry bomb? I was going to ask y'all what y'all's favorite additive was.
Well,
I never added nothing.
Well, back in the day, cherry, they only had cherry.
That was Galen. He was adding stuff.
I added everything. I added everything. One night, Richard got me and busted me. I come in third that night, rolled in there, and he checked my fuel, and I guess I had dropped a mothball or 2 in there. My Uncle DV told me, he said, put mothballs in there, it'll go. I might have dropped in it. Anyway, Richard, he did that little thing he does with the...
Hydrometer.
Oh, that hydrometer. You're out. I said, you don't know how bad I need that $200.
Because I can't come race next weekend. Hey, I got a story about that fuel too. Poor old Rob Hewitt, he's going now. Rest in peace, that dude. He was a heck of a competitor also.
Yeah.
One day, I'm late to get to the racetrack, right? So we leave our house. I think Todd was with us that time. We cut across and we stopped at Wagabag to fill up my pickup truck.
Right.
So I take the same hose and I walk around to the back of the race car, put gas in my race car. Well, Rob is loading up too.
Okay.
Behind his shop back there. He sees me, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I said, I'm putting gas in my race car. He said, dude, that's junk gas. Don't put that in your car. I said, Rob, that's all I have. Oh my God. He was saying stuff like that. Not a problem. I won that night. He's like, I can't believe you beat me, with that junk gas.
He's like, I was going to say, it still doesn't mean your gas is good.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's just some old 91 octane, I think is what it was.
Yeah, I took her by that store, the Wagabag store.
Division 1.
And there's new owners now, but yeah, I took her, I showed her all that stuff. Yeah,
that's cool.
The Wagabag.
91 octane. Now, I wonder how much racing fuel is now, because I remember when we were buying, it was $10 a gallon, or 5. Was it 10 or 5?
No, it was 10.
It was 10. I wonder what it is now. I've already forgotten what octane that was.
110 octanes, what we was running there at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
now, we did put that in a lawnmower one time. Don't do that.
You don't want to turn it off.
Yeah.
It'll keep running even after you turn the switch off.
Yeah, definitely don't use that in a lawnmower. I guess they thought it was going to add some horsepower or something. I'm not really sure.
Oh, it probably did.
Yeah, but it was definitely cutting up. It was
blew the head off of you.
Yeah,
Be
pegged
careful.
out on the RPM gauge.
Yeah, the fuel time when I got disqualified for the fuel that time, that was dumb. But then the only other time is me and Jody when we were racing, and we were running first and second. Don't know how that happened because neither one had won a feature yet. And he got me a little bit. I was leading, and he got me a little bit and got me a little sideways, and he got under me. And I couldn't catch him after that. I stayed with him, but I couldn't catch him. But after the checker flag, When he slowed down,
Oh, you got him?
I buried my car up in his ass.
Was that nice?
Yeah, that's how you have to do it sometimes.
And your uncle disqualified.
You shouldn't have hit him after the caution. You should have hit him before
Me
that.
and Jody's good.
It's just racing before the checker.
Yeah, if the green flag is out, it's okay.
Me
you
and
don't
Jody,
do it after the checker.
Yeah, me and Jody's friend. We were friends. Not long after that, we became friends, and it was. And matter of fact, I had him drive a car at Leesville the last time, right before Leesville closed. I called him, and he come up and drove a car for Bud.
I'll be doing.
Yeah.
Did you ever get disqualified?
Probably. I don't remember if I did or not. Not for wrecking anybody. I never did that.
Wow, Galen, you should apologize to Jody.
I'll wreck him. I would. Hey, I'm just telling you, when the flag drops and you get the gas and you're in that race, you're going to go two places. You're going to go into like a zone type thing where you're concentrating on the guy in front of you, or you're going to be like a Tasmanian devil mad. I used to hit my helmet to get. Yeah, I was pissed off when I was racing.
Yeah, I never got that way.
Don't mess with me. I was going to do something.
Whenever I raced, I made sure I was as calm as can be. I learned that racing
Really?
with BMX bikes. I started that in 1978. I did that, what they're doing now. And I learned to like breathe different, just calm my breathing down. You have to think about everything you do in that race car because you have a gas pedal, you have a brake pedal, you got a steering wheel, and people around you.
He went into it way more than I did.
Yeah, and hey, I mean, if you would watch, I'd get out of a race car sometime and never sweat. Everybody else was like drenched with sweat and water. I was like, that's because I was breathing slow. You have to slow it down. That's a mind game too, yeah, Galen. See,
Galen was playing.
If I told you that a long time ago, maybe you'd beat me more.
I think both ways work.
Yeah.
I was going to say he was amping himself up the whole time. He needed to be chilling himself down.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, he was just running off of pure aggression and anger.
That's how I taught Ty.
No, I remember another disqualification I got now. Your uncle, he said I was coming through the field and being rough driving, and he cautioned the race. I have this on film.
Really?
He cautioned the race where there was no caution. It was like a NASCAR debris caution. He cautioned the race, and when the caution came out, they black flagged me because I was ignoring the flag stand. So then they black flagged me for rough driving. And then I got out of the car and I was headed to the middle of the track. Like,
I'm going to get you.
You remember that big Sheriff Rapides deputy?
Oh, yeah. That dude was about 7 foot tall.
Picked me up and carried me back to my truck and stood there.
I just know that pissed you off so bad.
He picked me up.
You can't be mad after that. It's like, I better chill out.
I said, this dude's picking me up like I'm a child. Because I was acting a little childish, but I was headed to the middle of that track because his uncle always stayed in the middle.
Watching. Honk on everybody.
Watching. I say he stayed in the middle so nobody get to him. But that's normally what happened.
I'm curious what I want to hear each of y'all's, and before we do anything else, just to the viewers, our regular viewers, we may have some video dropouts this episode. If you couldn't tell, we've rearranged the studio, had a very late night.
Shout out to Marianne and Greg for that.
Very late night doing that, so kind of delirious, but yeah, battery in the camera is kind of overheating a little bit, and but anyway.
That's okay.
We'll have that fixed next time.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, but
I was snoring at that time.
Yeah, but I'm so curious to hear each of y'all's favorite class to race and why. Because I've observed dirt track for a while and for my whole life, really, I guess. But
we'll let Todd and Ty take that one because I know where they're going to go. Open wheels.
We'll let Ty say what his is because he only raced like one class.
One class.
Yeah.
Well, he also raced go-karts. He also raced go-karts.
See, I like go-karts as well. And that was the other question, was are y'all going to do road racing? Or have y'all done road racing at any point before,
No road racing. The only class I've ever driven was a sprint car. I enjoy that a lot. The smell, the feel. I kind of relate it to motocross riding, if you've ever ridden that. It's kind of similar in the adrenaline effect of it. But yeah, sprint car racing is very intense, and you definitely have to be on your game. It's intense.
Yeah. Well, that drive shaft's pretty close to your private parts.
Yes.
I got in one time. I said, no, sir.
No, sir.
Give me
and
the
they
drive.
just-
I want a drive shaft over here with a loop around it. I did not want it running between my legs.
They just have such a tendency to do barrel rolls too. It's like, I don't understand how it's still a class. It's like we're dealing with a short wheelbase. I mean, it's got to just be the thrill of it.
Yeah.
Did you ever barrel roll? Did you ever roll the car?
Yeah, I flipped a few times. I junked a few cars. We actually have a graveyard in the back of my house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I learned as I went.
But the wing takes a lot of the cushion on a wing car. Now, the midgets are probably pretty hard.
That sounds so insane just to the lay person. Like, oh yeah, you might do 20, 30 rolls, but you got that wing.
Yeah.
Slow you down a little bit, you know?
It does. The wing works.
Well, it's a dual purpose. Serves two purposes. So I think I think those cars are also insane. I think the people that drive them got a lot of something.
Are insane.
Yeah, but I don't think they're insane. I think they're just on another level than I am for sure.
I'm not getting in one.
Yeah, I'm not a thrill seeker though. Like I'm like, oh hey, I'm on the ground, I'm safe. I drive a 3-cylinder car. It's totally safe.
So
I'm just not a thrill seeker.
So races, won, championships, anything? When you were the Bayou, how did you get the Bayou Bullet, by the way?
So we had a guy that would always help on the team. Where's he from? Rain? Yeah. Rain, Mr. PJ. I'm sure if you went to the track and he was there, he was the old man with the cigar in his mouth. Mr. PJ. And if he ordered food, he'd tell the waitress how to spell his name. It was Peejay. And sometimes he wouldn't order. He said, I'm too hungry to eat. He'd say that too. He was fun to be around. But yeah, so he had given me that name in my younger years of driving, the Bayou Bullet.
So how long did you run sprint cars?
Oh, I don't even know. I raced. Well, I think it was an engine out of your modified in the 47 core.
Yep. Here.
Yeah, it was here. I don't know what year that was. 2006?
Probably around 4 or 5. Because I started in 03.
But it wasn't a lot. I only raced like 3 or 4 times for a few years just because we had 2 cars.
Yeah.
And of course, he wanted to race more than me.
Yeah.
And then there was this one race where I had his junk, all the spare stuff that he didn't want because he had
The leftovers.
the good stuff on his car, and I was trying to pass him up. So he decided after that it was my turn. And
Did you retire after that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So you retired from racing in what, 06?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Wondering who's trying to pass me. Who's trying to pass me? Nobody behind me with a good car. I was running with second or third, something like that.
If y'all want to put that mic between you there, I'll bump the
about that?
level on
Yeah,
it.
is that
and then
better?
I'll make sure
Anyway.
it's good in post. Yeah.
As I was racing, I kept looking to my left, like who's trying to pass me. And finally, he was on the side of me. I was like, "That's Ty." So I said, "Well."
And he was running your spare
Oh, he
parts.
was running some old spare parts, old flat tappet cam, wing modified motor. We hadn't run in 3, 4, 5, 6 years, whatever it was.
Right.
I said, you know what? I think I'll let him drive this car. And I'm just gonna sit back.
a 15-year-old chassis.
Yeah, old stuff. Yeah.
So Ty, what do you remember about your days running the little quarter midgets?
On the infield.
Yeah.
And at Swampland Speedway.
Yeah, Swampland. I remember running on the front straightaway at Forest Hill also.
Yep.
They put some cones out.
Yep.
Go
That was
up.
probably before they built the track there.
Yes,
Maybe
before
so.
we built the track.
Go up the straightaway and then down. the straightaway.
Yeah.
There was a one-wheel pull cord I turned into a live axle. They built all that.
Yeah, we raced. We
and
raced a lot. We did that a lot.
You and Jordan raced together
Yeah.
quite a bit too.
Yep. Jordan, the cousins raced. Who was
Keith Jordan.
Yeah.
There was a lot of them. At one time, there was like 14 or 15 of
Yeah.
them quarter midgets out there. Everybody was building a quarter midget.
I don't know if we didn't have 2 different classes back then.
I don't remember age, maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
towards
so.
the end.
I know
Yeah.
at Swampland that one day, we had so many carts out there that day. I got run over that day.
In the way again.
Well, kids.
Yeah, I know how it is.
I have a fairly vivid memory at Swampland. There was some kid, I can't remember the name, but he was winning all the time. And Dad said, I'm gonna bring you over there so we can go race him. I said, okay, let's go. So we went, and we get into the feature, and I'm on his tail. I'm trying to pass him, and I keep cutting the corner, and I remember picking my left front, hit the
little curb.
Yeah, the little curb on the infield of the track, and I flipped over. That was my first time I ever flipped. I freaked out. And I remember him jumping over the fence. Like, this is a fence you had to put your arms on, like 5 foot tall fence. I remember seeing him jump over the fence to come get me. He's like, you good? I said, yeah, flip me back over. I want to race some more. Flip me back over and looking right and took off again.
So
He was only like,
I was little.
probably 7.
I was little. I remember
or 8.
that.
You and Justin were the same age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it's somewhere around there.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
How old are you now, Ty?
I'll be 40 in September.
Yeah. You and Justin were the same age.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Justin just turned 41 this year.
Really?
What was your question?
So what got you like? What was your favorite part about the racing? Like, was it like the adrenaline, the speed, the like what the atmosphere? Just
All of it, and trying to beat the competitors. We didn't have enough money to really beat them, so we had to beat them on setups and driving skills and ability.
that. Okay, so that's a good
That's
question. So
where-
back then, I think the racing was different. I think it was different because now it's money.
A lot of money.
It is a lot of money now.
And there's some talented drivers out there that don't have the same money as other people, you know, that probably they're not able to do the same things because they're limited by funds.
Yeah.
So do you think there's a difference from back then to now in that aspect?
In that aspect, exactly. You know, but the rules and the parts for the cars were way cheaper, 20, 30, 40 years ago than it is now. Like, I use NASCAR as an example. Probably 70% of it is buy rides. People with money renting a damn race car from somebody or the whole team even,
They're saying
That's
in
what
the
they-
O'Reillys it's half the field.
half the field.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like that in sprint car racing also, now.
So
Like
do you
sprint-
think in
like
the
NASCAR.
in the old, like the other classes, not necessarily sprint car, full blown modified, but now with the street stocks and the super stocks, do you think it's still about the setups and all that, or is it still about or is it now about the money?
You have to have a car that's set up to make it go around a racetrack. Because you can take one man or one car, one driver will take it and try to do his own setup, can't do anything with it. And this happened. We bought a car like that before. It applies to every racer today. You take the same car, give it to somebody else, they put a different setup on it, and it'll go win with it. You know what I'm saying?
That's correct. Or vice versa.
Or vice versa. Yeah, you sell. That happened to me. I sold a good car, sold it to somebody. And
That's
they
right, and I
couldn't-
did too.
They couldn't make it go around a racetrack. They said it's a junk car. No, it wasn't, because I was winning with it.
Yeah.
You know?
2 championships and it's a junk car. Give me
Yeah,
a
it was a
break.
junk car, man. Come on now.
It's a good skill issue.
It's a setup issue. And first guy I ever set up a car for, you got to get the tire circumferences correct, and you got to get everything just right. Well, the first time I went to his house on a Sunday, all of his tires were still on his trailer in the sun.
In the sun, yeah.
And they're not going to be the same. When we got home at night, whether it be 1, 2, 3 a.m., we unloaded the car. It went inside. We unloaded the tires. They went inside. There was times when I couldn't get the tires right. I would actually put them in a cooler all week. I did some of the staying. I didn't mess with my breathing though. I didn't do that.
That had a lot to
I
do.
did. I did get serious.
Right. I understand that. We did too with setups and stuff like that.
But I told
Rollouts
that
and
guy, I said,
tires.
dude, you can't leave your tires sitting out on the trailer all week. They're not going to be the same. Next week, your car's not going to run right.
We would tell people what we would do to our cars,
Yes.
and they wouldn't believe me. For example, we had to run them EC tires. I ran all the small circumference tires around the car except for the left rear. I ran a larger circumference tire on the left rear with a
For
whole
the
lot
feature.
for the feature with a whole lot less
Yes.
air pressure.
So I did
And
it kind of the opposite. I would set my car up for the feature, and then I would have to do all the weird stuff for the heat race.
Yeah.
It was
Rollout.
kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
But
We went over there with feature setup all the time too. We just changed basically rollout is what we changed.
Right.
And air pressure.
so the tires that we were running was a 27.5 versus a 29. So you only had 1.5 inches. But after I put the left rear in the cooler and set the other one in the sun, I could go out to Forest Hill and have 5 or 6 inches of rollout when I wasn't supposed to have that for the heat race. That's what I needed. And then I would bring them back closer together for the feature. So it's like, yeah, because it always did.
So when you walk out in the shop right now, still to this day, there's a pole holding up a structure, inside the shop, and there's a race car set up etched in that pole for one of Galen's race cars. I remember
Ride heights.
Yeah, one
We
of the
still
first,
have it on some of our chalkboards in the shop too, all over the place.
Yeah, I remember asking about it. I was like, "What's this?" And he was like, "Oh, that was my race car setup." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Just those are things are just lasting memories, just
Correct.
all over the shop, and when he used to have a lot of racing stuff. Like there was cars and everything over on the other side of the shop. And at some point, I guess he just was like, well, I'm going to sell it all. And he did, he started flying airplanes is what happened.
Right.
And then he said something. I don't know why. I don't know. I think he was seeking adrenaline or something. And he said, I'm going to, maybe I'll just take my cars back racing. And I was like, oh, no, sir. We're not doing airplanes and race cars.
This thing, the racetracks are too far away now. That's one of the reasons why we quit.
Yeah.
And it's so darn expensive.
Y'all don't have one down there?
We sold everything about 4 years ago. Sold it all. Somebody came from
I
the
did too.
Carolinas. We cried like a baby too.
Every air
When it left,
gauge,
was like,
every nut, every bolt. If it had to do a racing, I give it to that guy for one lump sum of money.
that's what we did. Put it all in his trailer.
And I don't go to the racetracks.
We haven't been much either.
No.
So you think do y'all think if you went back, you would get the itch again?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the itch is there.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
the itch is there. It'll never, that never goes away.
It happened to me.
But
Y'all want to
but
go go-kart racing? Or
pocketbook.
I have a go-kart.
We have a
Pocketbook.
We have a go-kart.
$1 million go-kart race right there. Huh?
No, sir.
$1 million mistake.
Greg, don't be instigating over there. Don't
And
be
the same thing.
instigating.
There's no kart tracks close by. They open and close before you get a kart built. They're gone.
Man,
Yes.
they had a great one in New Caney, Texas, north of Houston. There, we lived in Houston for a couple years after college, and they opened one over there. And my favorite thing was to go over there and just spank the high school kids at around the go
Oh,
kart
you
track.
want to know what Galen does?
Circle track or road course?
Is it? No, I'm thinking.
Road course.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
road course.
Yeah.
So we went to Austin. Galen's daughter lives in Austin, and we went down to Austin. And there is a racetrack, a go kart racetrack indoors called K1 Speed.
Yeah.
And these are really fast go karts. And at no point ever is it not serious. Like it's racing all the time. So
I told you, Tasmanian devil.
I'm not like
I don't care where I'm at.
We're on the racetrack and he full on wrecks me. He hits me so hard that my seatbelt come undone. Like he's like he spun out his own daughter on the racetrack.
Now you know.
They got to get out of the way.
See, us calm racers have to deal with people like that all the time on the racetrack. That is true.
Well, it's a good thing you moved up in class.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he literally.
We've
I
been
was
trained a
just
lot
like,
of pain, huh?
I was like, what? This is a go kart track, Galen, and it's not that serious. But apparently, racing is serious in all forms.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You want a bit?
and that's why I like this place in New Caney because K1 and some of the others they're okay, but they're kind of a ripoff. Like the electric carts and a lot of them have the just as soon as anybody goes off the track at all or whatever, they're just overly cautious about stopping everybody, and so half your session you paid for is like gone.
We've been racing those rental carts since I was a baby, and we got thrown out of pretty much everyone we ever went to.
Well,
Because of that.
This one in New Caney was special because it was gas carts outdoor, and they had a pro go-kart track designer, I guess, design both of their tracks, their rental track and their championship. But they had like just lackadaisical high school kids working there, and they didn't care if you just completely
Destroyed the course. Yeah, whatever.
It's pretty awesome. I mean, no, they cared about that, I guess, but they were they would let you really race,
So with Galen, I think that I think that go-kart race actually kind of humbled him some because yes, it did. He had gotten,
He said no.
he said no. Well, what he did is he did this one race, and there was this one kid there that apparently was like a course champion or whatever. And he was trying to beat that time. And he just kept racing and kept racing and kept racing. He wore himself smooth out. He fell asleep in the car on the way back to the hotel. This is like 2:00 in the middle of the day. He went to the hotel, laid down, went to sleep, and we didn't see him till the next day.
I went back and beat that time.
Well, he weighed 100 pounds less than me on a go-kart. I mean,
Well, I mean, can't beat that.
But I did. I was drained after that. Two sessions. I was drained. I was time to go. I slept for 12 hours.
Oh yeah.
It was so funny because it was like, wow, okay, well he's like he can't like so now I wonder
can't do it, no.
What would an actual whole night of racing do to him?
Dude, those cars, they don't have power steering.
Yes, like you gotta actually drive the car. So I wonder now, 20 years later, like what would it be like to race another car?
I would only go one session and sleep for 12 hours.
He's gonna do the
a good
heat race
idea.
and quit.
I don't think we could do it. I know I couldn't do it. Not now.
Yeah, I'm so competitive that I can't get myself into those situations. Yeah.
So
too competitive.
You think that there is an age at which you have to just say, I can't do this anymore.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, Sammy Swindell just won last night, I think, in a midget on asphalt.
Did he?
And
Does he have power steering?
Those cars, I think they rack and pinion, yeah, but it's a regulated steering. But I think he's probably close to 77, 78,
He's up there.
somewhere around there, and he just want to race. So they race until some guys don't ever stop racing.
Yeah.
They race into their 80s and 90s even.
But this-
What's the name right here from Alabama? Red Farmer.
Yeah. He still races
He's still
late
racing.
models.
And
Yeah.
he ain't young. What you were saying, Ty?
Well, if you get out for 20 years, then jump back in,
Yeah.
the first month will probably be rough.
Oh yeah. You're not in no kind of shape to do that no more.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Exactly.
How has dirt track racing advanced in the last 5-10 years? As far as is anyone doing more like F1 sort of stuff? Are they doing wind tunnel testing or any of that sort of thing going on at
I
all?
think the late
or-
models do a lot of wind testing, but
Yeah.
I think they probably put them in the wind tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know about sprint cars. I don't
Yes.
keep up with the sprint car
yeah.
stuff as much as I do the late models.
Yes, Jason had brought his car a few times to wind tunnel to design different body panels and hoods and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and wing designs. And they, like the wings on top of the cars now are all flat on the top. It used to have a little bevel. It used to be concaved up there. But they were getting too much downforce. They're going too fast, so they slow them down. But yes, they do wind tunnel test them.
So I got a question. So can we talk about Jason a little bit?
Sure.
I mean, I'm gonna give you my thoughts as being an outsider looking in, and then maybe you can fill in the blanks for me.
Sure.
So in 92, when we started, 92 or 93, Jason come out in an enduro class.
Correct.
I remember his car was black.
T1.
He won the championship that year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was like a pure stock class. So then I remember from one year to the next, or it may have been two, then he came out and he jumped from the bottom class all the way to wing modified.
Right.
And was it a Sonic car?
Yeah, it was a Sonic car he drove.
Number 75.
75.
Okay. That was a pretty car. I have a picture of that.
Opposite of his dad's 57 car.
Yes. Yes. And then he did well in that car.
He did very well in that car.
So then we raced. Jason went on to sprint cars, I believe. Anyway, I lost track. Next thing I know, and I keep up with it, I do keep up with racing, but the next thing I remember is 2016 comes around, and Jason Johnson, I'm assuming underdog, wins the Knoxville Nationals, which is like the Daytona 500 of sprint car racing.
That is correct.
He just wins it. Donnie Schatz had been dominating this race for 10 years.
About 9 or 10
And
years.
Jason comes out, boom, and wins the race. And I remember watching him in that was like a couple of months after they had lost Brian Clausen. And I remember him saying something about parked it.
Yeah.
And
Remember Brian?
yeah, in his interview, and he was so excited. It was kind of
We was all excited.
Yeah, were you there?
No, we was at my mom's house, mom and dad's. Matter of fact, that's the day we got flooded. My house got flooded. We got evacuated out of our house, went to my mom and dad, and
Okay.
was watching the race live when that happened.
Okay, so
So, yeah,
what race was it?
the Knoxville National.
And that's when he won.
That's when he won.
Okay.
That's the race he won.
And so you take the story from here. It was 2 or 3 months later. Is that correct? When he got into his wreck?
No, I think it was
2018.
it was a couple years later.
A couple of years later.
Yeah, he raced a couple years, but yeah, he was in. I think Wisconsin is. I think where it happened.
Beaver Dam Raceway.
Yeah,
Do we know what happened? I know he left the track, but do we know what happened?
yeah, we know what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, those safety boards that are. If you watch sprint cars, they made them move a safety board from back here forward.
Okay.
That's to keep the cage from coming down on the driver's head.
Okay.
That's what happened.
The cage collapsed.
Cage collapsed.
So that was before
Okay.
they moved him.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. So I always heard there was rumors that something got in the car to him, like a signage or something like that. So
No, it was a head injury.
okay. So and then after that happened, his wife kept running the team, and I think David Gravel started driving for her, and he won the next 2 years later or 3 years later.
I think 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Does she still have the team?
He just sold it to Jason's little cousin,
Okay.
Philip Dietz.
Okay.
That's who owns the team now.
And Macedo's running it?
And Macedo is the driver.
Okay.
Yeah. And Philip Dietz, Philip's daddy, and Jason's daddy grew up across the street from each other in Eunice. And Jason's dad and Philip's dad married sisters,
Okay.
which is Rhonda and Debbie.
So how are you
It's a-
connected to Jason?
That's my first cousin.
To your first
Yeah,
cousin?
his
It would be
dad,
like
his
me
dad,
and Tommy.
and my dad and Keith are all brothers.
Okay.
So that's how that's.
So
That's how
did
it
that end up that accident that Jason got into ended up changing the design of the race car?
Correct.
Okay.
Because of that
Well, at least
wreck.
there were advancements made because of it.
Yes. They're still doing a lot of stuff. You know, they doing stuff with seats now, where the way they're mounted, because people are still having back injuries whenever they crash. He hurt his back doing racing that car because they solidly mounted to the damn frame.
Right.
And when that chassis hits the ground, your body absorbs the impact.
So did that change the thoughts on racing for the family, or
Yeah.
for like how long you
Yeah.
think?
Well, right away.
Right away.
Yeah, Jason's dad was like, Craig was like, y'all sell your race car, get rid of that. But we were winning. So
Yeah.
it's hard to just quit when you're winning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that has to weigh on you.
Oh, it
you know,
does. It
when
did.
something like that, when it hits close to home like that, that it's it's like it's very real. It's one thing to lose Dale Earnhardt, or anybody that you've never met, but it's quite different when it's somebody
It's
that's
a family member.
Yeah, when it's a family member. So I can't imagine what that was like racing, knowing, that you had lost somebody to racing.
Right.
I compared his interview at the Knoxville Nationals. He was so excited. I mean, you could tell that it was real, and it reminded me of when in '98, and you were in the infield. I was racing for a championship in the late model class, and it was the last race of the year, and I won it and won the championship. And you were in the infield. I think you won that night.
I did. I won the championship and the
Do
points
you
that
remember
year
that?
too. Yes.
Yeah, so that would have been my most exciting moment in racing. Would have been that, and it reminded me when I saw Jason in the victory lane. It reminded me of that moment.
He felt that excitement too.
Oh yeah, it was
came
crazy.
back, came roaring back. You call it, yeah.
Hey, that was crazy. Donnie Schatz had been winning that race 6 or 7 times in a row, and he actually Jason won it, and then Donnie Schatz came back and won it the next year.
Yeah.
So that was something.
That was something. You're right, man. That's like, winning any, like the Daytona 500, in sprint car racing. It's basically what it
But
is.
not only that, he was an underdog.
Yeah.
You
Big
know?
underdog. He's was a self-funded team.
Yeah.
He didn't, and it was his own team. He did it himself, did it his way. He always said that he wanted to do it his way. He drove for probably 6 or 8, maybe 9 different people up getting to that point. You
Right.
know, he actually worked for Steve Kinser for a while. Worked for Steve, and I think Steve let him drive a car one time. I think that's all it was. I think one time, but then Jason, he had an opportunity. Some people come on board and built his own sprint car team.
I would always walk around the track and look at people's ideas and stuff on cars that was neat. And one of the things on that 75 car, that Sonic car, was he side paneled that car and cut out each individual header to where you couldn't see the engine. So the headers come right out like little holes. And I always took that with me because one year I did the same thing. I added something to it and I looped it around and I had my exhaust come out the doors like on,
Yeah.
But you were always trying, no advantage, just neat little stuff.
Something that looks kind of cool.
That's correct. That's where I got the Zeus and the bodies on. I think Hank Thornhill came out with fenders. He had them Zeus so he could work on the car in between races. So he just unzeus the fender, you climb in there.
Greg had asked earlier, you're going to have to explain to Greg, because we didn't want to talk about it off mic, what a Zeus was.
So the worst thing about racing cars on dirt is the next day when you got to wash them. So anytime you can get fenders, you can get tires. So we jacked the cars up. And what I did was, and I started doing this in 96, I did the fenders. Then 97, I carried it on to the whole side body. My roof was one on there always. But then I would take all the fenders and everything off. My car looked like it didn't have nothing. But it wouldn't take me about 20 minutes. The Zeus's are a button that you can, and you put a little spring behind it, and you take it and you twist it like a half a round.
Instead of a rivet.
Oh, okay.
You can't really go back and drill all the rivets out. So you Zeus the body on, and that was a good thing for the washing. And you could get to everything. It was easy to work on. So every week we would unzeus the body, wash them on the ground, stack them up. And the other good thing was the last race of the season, because they always have like races after the races are over. So you run your state championship, and then Chatham may have Spooky 50 or Baton Rouge will have a race, their state championship. I would always unzeus the body and leave it at the track. That way, I couldn't go racing no more. So I left 2 or 3 bodies at Thunder Valley. Jackie Thacker told me one time, I found your body over there. What do you want me to do with that? I said, throw it in the trash. I'm done with it.
Throw it away. I don't want
It's a new body next year.
That's why we went sprint car racing and wing modified racing. We didn't want to deal with that body anymore. Oh, it was too much. When we went racing that late model sportsman thing, Keith made me buy a whole new body. Brand new. I painted that thing all up, pretty and everything, a custom paint job. Put it on there. First night, we wrecked. We tore it all to hell. Rob, you had spun me out. He hit the wall head on down the back straightaway. That body was tore up. I looked at that thing. I said, I ain't buying another body all year long. I'd take it off. I'd stomp it, beat it all straight, put that back together and go again. Oh, bro, I didn't like that body at all. I think I only raced the Sportsman 1 year. That's when I went to wing modified racing after that. Way easier to clean.
So you ran Superstock, then the Sportsman.
I ran Superstock, yeah. 2.
You put a late model body on that car?
I put that same chassis. The very first car I bought, I put that late model body on that Superstock chassis. That's all I did. Same car.
I don't know why I don't remember you putting a late model body on there.
Yes.
I remember the stubby car. Hopefully you put the body on, didn't look stubby no more.
It still was ugly. It was ugly as hell.
No, you didn't have no uglier car than like I did in 94. That was terrible. The one you drove, that was an ugly car. And
they were all good, man.
Man.
Yeah.
I have to do, I was done. I don't know if you ever know this story, but I was done after the 95 season. Last night of the last night we raced at Forest Hill, me and Junior got tied up. Junior Coker, we got tied up, and it didn't rip my bumper off. It ripped my back half of my car off, and the fuel cell was sitting on the track. Like done. I don't know how that happened. I built the car, so.
Well.
So anyway,
I did a lot of wheeling myself.
I loaded it up and I put it in the shop, and I was done. That was it. 95. I'd spent so much money on these cars. I've won 4 heat races. I've not even run up front.
Yeah.
I was done. I'm done. And I was sitting watching the race. Matter of fact, and Gary Huffman. I don't know if you remember him. He had a little deal. He was a soldier out at Fort Polk, and he came up and he had a little fabrication company called Carolina Chassis.
Oh yeah. I remember that now.
You remember him?
Yeah.
And he said, I told him, I said, I'm done, blah, blah, blah. He said, let me look at your car. So he went back there and looked at the car, and his first words was, I can fix that for $600. And that was done. $600? Really?
Okay, let's do it now.
So that's when the Chrysler Springs come in. I was running a Nova. My chassis was a Nova, and it was 110 inch wheelbase. Put did that. Go out there the first night, and during that winter, or at Play Day at Leesville, I got to drive Rob Hewitt's first car. Remember when he went to the late model, the black 114 or whatever? He sold his old car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I got to drive it at Leesville one time, and I got to feel what the car should do, because the car was still good. A friend of mine bought it, and he let me drive it. So we went to struggling with that, and next thing you know, that's when I started winning because of Gary Huffman. And
I remember that.
he helped me for 2 years, and then he moved to Carolina. But yeah, if it wouldn't have been for him, I would have been done in '95.
We raced a long time. Whenever Keith had got out of the racetrack, I think Clyde had hired me for a season to run that track, but he run me out of there.
Clyde
He
did?
fired me. Yeah.
Well, he was always flaky, wasn't he?
Well, the reason why I had made some rules are pretty much like what Keith had them,
Okay.
but after he left, I think John Short.
John Sharp, he's
Took
the
over
one
the
had
track.
it in the 70s.
Well, but he took over again. Well, he wasn't getting a good car count, so he hired me. So I implemented some new rules again. One of the rules that I had implemented affected one of his big buyers from the nursery. They had a car or two, and Clyde wanted me to change the rules so his car can have the advantage. I was like, I'm not changing any rules, sir. So I just told him just like that.
So you're the one that got him to fill it full of water.
He just did okay. Just like, well, the first night I ran it, I had 78 cars. The next night we had 75 or something like that.
I wasn't
Before it was
aware that the politics were also involved in
Politics.
racing.
Well, he's a politician, so you know what I was up against, right? Well, you see, and going backwards, he had hired Keith to run the track for him, but Keith only ran it for 1 year. Then Keith offered to lease it. That's how that deal went. But then after he told Keith he was closing the racetrack.
Right.
He got Keith out of that contract by doing it that way, because Clyde said how much money he was making.
Right.
And then whenever he took on the other guy, wasn't making no more money.
Right.
So he got me in there, and then we started getting more cars again. But I wouldn't change the rule for one of his big buyers, to come run. And the big buyer said, I'm not going to buy from you if you don't change the rule. Well, instead of doing that, he just got rid of me.
I didn't want to go to Thunder Valley. If you remember in our class, and I don't remember about the other classes, but Keith Mansell and Robert McKellar stayed in Forest Hill, and me and Rob Hewitt and Robert McKellar stayed at Forest Hill, and me and Keith Mansell went to Thunder Valley. And then a couple of times that year, they brought them back together, and we had
Right.
That was some of the good racing at Forest Hill there at the end. Matter of fact, that trophy right there is one when Rob had his car, I ended up beating Rob that night. But it was, I wish it would have kept going, but
It would have.
So Todd, when you transitioned to, which I know you were still racing, but did it make it different when you had a kid on the track? Like, was it like a different feeling, a different,
Oh, yeah. I was a nervous wreck.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Yeah. When I get in a race car, it never bothered me, never once. But seeing him on a racetrack and I'm in the grandstands, I'm like, you don't give it the gas yet, or wait, or watch out for the next guy.
you're trying to backseat drive?
Yeah, I'm trying to drive through his head, and he can tell you the same thing about Ryder racing that bicycle, because he's doing the same thing too.
I can imagine that putting your kid on the racetrack, because now I kind of equated it to aviation, because we see some of our friends, putting their kids in airplanes and they're getting their pilot's license. So I can imagine that's probably nerve wracking. Like, you're flying the plane and you're chill with it, but then when you have to give the controls, because I couldn't teach my daughter to drive. I had to leave that to Galen because I couldn't do it. I'm not made for that. And I was like, I can't do this. You have to do it. And I can't imagine putting her in a race car or something that's, inherently dangerous.
Correct.
And it's dangerous, and what you've been through, and what the car is capable of.
Oh yeah, we know the dangers of the sport, that's for sure.
But it also probably makes you want to pinch their head off because they're not driving the way that you think they're supposed to be driving.
No, ask them.
most of the time it's better.
Discussions about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was discussions.
Well, you're right.
It was one way. It was right here.
So now that Ryder is
I've
racing,
been there, done that.
Well, now that Ryder is racing, do you see what his frustration was? Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, you see that. So Ryder, I'm gonna pan over. Galen, give your microphone to Ryder real
All right,
quick.
sit back.
I'm going to pan over to Ryder. Ryder, I want you to tell me what BMX racing is.
It's really just like competitive. Like it's really fun.
Okay, is it regular bikes or is it dirt bikes or what is it?
Regular bikes.
Just a regular bike.
He doesn't know what a regular bike is,
It's
A bicycle bike.
but it's a BMX.
Okay. So, but this is it's not motorized. It's not electric, anything like that. You got to pedal it with your feet.
yes.
And then you go, because I've heard a little bit about this. So you go over and there's like, there's like trails and tracks and, stuff on the tracks. So do you think you want to drive a race car one day? Or do you want to like race motorcycles?
Neither.
Neither? You don't want to race anything?
Man, I'm over here like motorcycles. No. Oh, you did? Tell me about that. Well, after no, actually, sorry, Ryder.
So
finish.
you just want to keep doing BMX? You don't want to do dirt bikes or anything? No.
So far,
Okay.
I just want to do this.
You just want to do that. Okay. And you think you can just keep doing this until you're in your 40s or 50s?
It's probably a good decision.
There's a class for like 61 and over.
Is there really?
Really?
There's actually a lady. Her name's Miss Kitty, and she's like 70 something.
And she races BMX?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Okay. So do you stay in Louisiana or do you go all over?
All over.
Okay. So like, where's the furthest track you've been?
Probably Las Vegas.
You went to Vegas? I've never even been to Vegas. Did you win there or did you no? Did you place?
Don't really remember, but I don't think I did that bad.
You didn't. Well, I mean, if you made it to Vegas, then you were on to something.
Yeah,
so.
he made mains. I don't think we got any scores though. So the way the system works is it's points, and they take this year they went back to 8 scores instead of 10 scores. So every national weekend you race Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there's an opportunity to make 3 scores per weekend, and they'll take your top 8 scores, and that'll go to your national points.
Oh, okay.
So you can go however many weekends you want. There's like close to 30 races a year, 30 national weekends.
Wow. So do you have friends at your school that race with you, or are you about the only one?
I'm the only one.
Wow. Okay. That's probably
So the kids in his class have no idea what he does.
really. You don't talk about it?
I mean,
They know he rides a bike.
They
in
know,
that
but they
sense.
don't
But
know.
they don't
that
know
you,
he's in magazines and on social media all the time and on these ODI style checks that's getting shared all over the country.
That's a pretty big deal. How old are you?
12.
12. Yeah, that's a pretty big deal for a 12-year-old. That's actually really cool. So, I mean, what was that guy's name that used to? I don't think it was a bicycle though. That was a Rob something. He used to do
Rob Deerdick?
That's it. He used to do a lot of stupid stuff on dirt bikes.
I thought you were gonna be like, what was that guy? What was that guy?
Skateboard.
Yeah, Tony. Was it Tony Hawk?
No, Tony Hawk was
skateboard.
skateboards.
I know.
No, like I mean,
You talking about Travis Pastrana?
I think it maybe it was Travis Pastrana.
Yeah.
But he got rich doing doing stuff on
Extreme
bikes.
sports, yeah.
So I mean, and I know there are motorbikes, but I mean, you'd be surprised how many people that you go to school with and stuff like that would be really interested in that. Are you just shy? Kinda.
These are not regular bikes. Why don't you tell us about the bikes? Because I know these are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so these bicycles are built for racing. They're very light. We're actually fixing to invest into a full carbon fiber bicycle. The frame is carbon, the wheels are carbon, the forks are carbon, the spokes will be titanium, handlebars are titanium.
Wow.
The crank arms are carbon fiber.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how much is that going to be?
This is it's a $5,200 bike.
Whoa, for a bike? Okay, Ryder, do you know how much a bike at Walmart costs?
70 to 120.
That's like a 129. So a $5,200 bike is that's like a Lamborghini bike.
Hey, it could be worse. You could be a road cyclist. You're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
Much more than that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you do enjoy it then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what states have you been to? Too many?
Not enough.
Have you been to Hawaii yet?
No.
No. What about Alaska? No. Okay. So California?
Nope.
No. Okay. What about New York?
Nope.
Nope. You did go to Oklahoma? Did you go to Florida? Have you been to Florida? Yeah.
A couple
Okay.
of times. Yep. Daytona.
Daytona. Yeah. I went to Daytona,
Tampa,
to the Daytona 500, and I was none too impressed. It was the most boring race I've ever seen in my life. And I was watching it live. It was terrible. It's cooler on TV.
No.
It's so, I would imagine that Bristol is pretty cool to watch, like in person. The Daytona, I'm telling you, it was boring because it takes so long for them to go around the track.
Did you know all the drivers?
Probably at the time, yeah.
Shouldn't have been born.
Yeah, I'm well, admittedly, I was probably burnt out on racing by that time, but it just, I don't know, it just felt so long.
How can you get burnt out on racing?
Well, I wasn't the driver.
I mean, racing is racing.
That's my question.
Yeah.
I wasn't the driver though, so that may be why.
Shoot. We've been going to the Daytona. We don't go anymore. But the first time I went was probably 74, 75 or somewhere around there. We went for about 4 or 5 years consecutively. Then my brother went, and then you went to the Daytona 500.
Hold on. Were you drinking beer?
No.
You weren't drinking beer when you were still...
We didn't start drinking alcohol till my daughter was born.
I was going to say,
Old is
if you
she
were
now?
drinking beer,
33?
you
That's
had a
what them
leg up
girls
on
will
it.
do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My wife says that all the time.
You're not a coon ass.
Shoot. 100%.
You didn't grow up drinking Miller ponies at,
My
As
whole
an
family
8-year-old.
did. All the bourgeois did.
The
They got
bourgeois.
bourgeois.
Oh, no,
My
that's-
mama was a bourgeois.
Oh, yeah,
My
that's-
grandmother was a Thibodeau.
Oh, yeah.
We have
It's-
Johnsons. We have Fontenot's.
My mama's a Dupre.
A Dupre?
Yeah.
Praise, that's
I'm
all
sure-
down south.
I'm sure we're related.
Yeah, probably so.
So what about the Chili Bowl? You been there?
Yep.
How many times you been? When's the last time?
Oh, probably 8 years ago, maybe 9.
He
Yeah.
keeps threatening me. We're going to go to the Chili Bowl.
That's a fun race.
I prefer dirt track racing. I need to be very transparent. I was not impressed by NASCAR because I think dirt track is more fun. I think it's more interesting to watch. It's just not as fun.
Hey,
Yeah.
look, I'm in the same boat as you because as much as I like to race, I mean, I did autocross in college and, track days on the bike and all that sort of stuff. I just can't get into like even F1. We went to F1 in person and I just have never been able to follow it on TV or
Where
at the track.
Where'd you go?
In Austin.
Okay.
The 2014. I can't remember. Was that the first? No, I don't think it was the first one, but it was recently.
And at that track, you can see the whole race. Most F1 races, you can't see the whole race.
Yeah.
You have
Galen
to
wants
look
to
around
go
a
to
building
that.
or something.
So who's your guy in F1?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't even.
You don't watch it? Okay.
But
you got a favorite?
Too boring.
Too
I don't like it.
boring.
Too boring.
Well,
Okay,
They just
that's
go
how I
around the
feel
track.
about
They don't
NASCAR.
race.
I
Yeah.
agree because I can go to dirt track race and have a damn good time.
Same. That's how it was for NASCAR for me. It was like I've seen it on TV and I never was really enthused about it. And then I saw it live and it was just like, and all I had ever watched was dirt track racing. And it's just like, no, I'm good. This is lame.
I think I've got to either be in that competitive zone. I got to have the competitive aspect. Obviously, I'm addicted to being the driver.
Yeah.
But if it's not going to be that, then I gotta have my eardrums getting blown out by the dirt track cars.
You'll like the Chili Bowl then. It's
you'll have
loud in
to,
there.
We'll all
Oh
have
my
to go to the
God.
Chili Bowl because Galen's been saying we need to go. And Galen's an extreme person when he wants to do something. There's no 90%.
I went in 03, 04, and 05. So I think Tracy Hines won the last one and Jay Drake. And it was the year after, I was there the year J.J. Yaley made the big run from the F main and finished
All the way.
third in the A main. I was
Okay.
there for
Yeah.
that.
So tell them about how you drove for like 20 hours.
Well, the first year I went, I said, we're going to drive up there, watch the final race. So we drove up there, got there in the morning, stayed all
Saturday.
day, tried to sleep, nap, watched the race, and we were dead tired. The next year, 2 years, I bought pit passes and we had hotels and it was much nicer. But yeah, that was a long day to drive up there. Matter of fact, we didn't make it back.
It's
we had to stop.
8 hour one way.
Yeah, it's 8 hours.
Yeah, that's what it takes us to get there.
But you get to meet interesting people up there and you can't believe they stick everything under that one roof.
Everything's on. That's where the ABA Grand Nationals are. Is in that same building. They build the BMX track where the Chili Bowl track
Really?
is at.
Yes.
So yeah, and all that's on. You can watch all these races, all the races that riders have raced on YouTube, live on YouTube. Give you a
So what
an idea.
channel is that?
It's YouTube USA BMX Live, I think is what it is.
Nice. So does Ryder have any championships?
Well, he's been nationally ranked
Okay, so he's got state championships.
since he was what, 4,
Yeah.
3.5, 4?
Right at 4 years old, yeah.
right at 4
And he has
years
a couple of Gold Cup championships, but no national. He's got a couple of national wins, but no national championships.
So, but you got to be on an Olympic road at this point, right?
Yeah, we raced the UCI sanctioned Worlds in 2024. He did really well in that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, at 12,
Yeah.
man.
The USA BMX team.
So wait, there's BMX for the Olympics?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, are you shooting for that? Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Yeah. Do you have any idea how cool that is? Or is it just normal
he
life
don't
for
know
you?
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he don't know how cool it is yet.
Yeah.
See, I raced BMX from 78 to 86. And, you know, and I raced a little bit in 87, and I was a professional. I didn't do it for a living. I just wanted to make some money when I went to a race to pay for what I was doing. And I had my own little team. And the same colors as our race cars, it was the same colors of the BMX team, which is the same colors today that they run. It's
That's
all
what
the
I was
yellow,
telling you about, the
orange
orange
blue.
and the white and the blue
Yeah.
and the,
Oh, okay.
And the JBR team, which stands for Johnson's BMX Racing, has been around since 1982.
wow.
And it's nationally recognized because they call his name out. They say it all the time when him and Ty and my brother Troy race at the BMX races. But, you know, getting back to what we was kind of saying, I raced it for that long, and he has no idea how good he is at his age, you know, and what he's doing. He's in magazines. I was only in one magazine one time. He's probably been in 3 or 4 now.
what
you
kind of
know,
magazines are we
The
talking?
BMX racing magazines. Yeah. Yeah. And back then we had about 3 or 4 different publications. Now there's only one. And this publication goes all around the world.
See, so
People
that's
from around the
something-
world race BMX bikes against him.
And
when
he's
he's
just
in
going to school acting like he's not
Yeah.
cool.
Regular kid.
that's a good thing.
When-
Stay that way. Don't let it get to you. Just keep thinking about riding that bike, and
That's right.
You'll stay on it. Get too wrapped up in it.
It's I mean, I think don't you have a YouTube Ryder Johnson YouTube page, or I think there's a couple of videos on there. Right, Ryder?
Well, my dad kind of controls it, but like,
Yeah, there's quite a few videos.
I hadn't posted much on it.
But yeah, you can look it up. YouTube.
I'm going to have to
Ryder.
Google you.
Yeah.
The fact that I can Google you is pretty cool.
We'll put a splash page during our video blackouts for this episode.
Yeah,
How about
we'll
that?
put a little splash page with your social medias and stuff on it.
Not that it's going to help too much, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
not that we have an audience that's going to make you go viral or anything.
You never
but,
know. He
never
also
know.
won. Hey, he also won the Race of Champions a couple years ago. It was an invitational race for his age group at the
Where was that
Tulsa at the Tulsa Grands.
okay.
It's like the day before this happens, before the Grand Nationals, and he won first place. So he got him a Race of Champions #1 plate in his age group. How old were you then? 10? 9? Younger than that? 9? Yeah.
So
and
during
he jumps. He's a jumper.
during all your travels, have you met anybody famous?
like I've met pros, not like anybody that's like really famous.
No,
No celebrities.
no celebrities.
Yeah, no celebrities.
Okay, I mean, don't count it out because that's
I ride with one all the time.
Yeah, I know he is a
Hey,
celebrity.
but he does know the Olympic champion.
The BMX
Connor,
Olympic champion.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was Connor Fields?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And Sam Will.
Man, what is your definition of a celebrity?
I know.
Like,
He's got pictures with him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty big
Some
deal.
Olympic champions.
Yep. Nick Kimmon too.
He's got to meet Dale Earnhardt Jr. or something for it to be a celebrity, huh?
Pastrana, was Pastrana BMX?
No, he was a dirt bike.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
You're right.
He may have rode some BMX, but I don't. It
He
wasn't
does a
much.
little bit of everything.
Yeah.
doesn't he?
Yeah.
The strict bike
Have
stuff.
you ever seen his video of him trying to get in a sprint car?
No.
I don't think so. I'm gonna go.
You need to watch that. You need to watch that. As all the stuff that dude does in his life, he tries to get in that car and he's scared.
Well, his like annual what is his annual video? The name is escaping me right now, but it's the craziest. Every year he puts out a video.
I'm not sure.
And this most recent one, I think he was in a rally car.
Well, he raced that for quite a while.
Yes.
He does, it's basically like a city takeover, and he drives through this route, drifting through the city,
Right.
and he hit, he hit like I don't even know, like 1,000-foot jump or something at like 150 in this rally car. It was, it looked hairy. Like,
Oh, I imagine.
He does some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
That dude. He's
So Todd,
wild.
who do y'all watch on YouTube?
Like mostly him.
Just him?
Yeah, I don't really watch a lot of YouTube other than Riders Racing, and we'll go back and watch a race over and over again.
Yeah.
When he came to the house this morning. That's what he did. He sits on my lap and we watch his old races together.
Okay.
I'll video them and I'll post them, and USA BMX post it all the time. So that's what we do. We watch him, watch his mistakes, try to correct them, try to make them faster and meaner. We just got to make them meaner on the racetrack. Listen to Mr. Galen. Take some advice from him. Get mad at it.
Don't take much of it.
That's what I tell him. I
Don't
said, get
take
mad at the
much.
racetrack and go beat it. Because if you ever,
It worked for a little while.
he's like, we don't want YouTube for entertainment. This is performance review, buddy.
just mad. But if you look at those BMX tracks, there's nothing but jumps and jumps and jumps, and some of them they'll take off.
Oh, that's got to be exhausting.
It is.
You tired after you done?
He's in.
It's like that race in Tulsa that we just went to.
That was a longer track.
Yeah. That track's 1,380 feet.
So you gotta nap afterwards. You need to go lay down and like chill out for a little bit.
No, just go rest in the grand.
Yeah, just go take a rest. That's got to be.
Yeah.
It depends how I do. Like first round, if I get top 2, I'll make it to semis, quarters. And if I don't, I have to go to second round. And if I get top 2, I'll go to quarters, semis.
So it's possible you might have to race 4 or 5 times in one day.
Yeah. So wait. So 1,380 feet. That's a little 60 feet over a quarter mile. How many laps per race?
It's one lap.
Just one. Okay. But 5. Yeah. That's a sprint.
Pedaling a bicycle.
Quarter mile sprint.
As hard as you can.
Yeah.
As hard as you can.
I just know that your leg muscles are
Oh, yeah.
peak. Yeah, he could probably just
he can-
squat. God only knows what.
He can deadlift 200 pounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got to be like.
So
a
you go to
beast.
the gym.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Now we're getting into it. So you work out for the BMX.
I would think you have to.
So
Yeah.
do you if you're in the gym, do you ride the bicycle in the gym to practice or no?
No.
No, you actually ride your bike for practice.
Yeah.
But you can't practice with your track bike, right? Because you could mess it up.
No, I do sprints.
Which is basically just taking off from a dead stop, just going as hard as you can for 80 to 100 feet.
How many times do you do that?
We alternate bikes whenever we do it. So we'll go 6 to 8 sprints per bike, and then we try to alternate feet also, like your start foot. And we'll try to alternate that just to try to keep the leg muscle the same.
That's
for the
so
second
impressive.
Pair. Yeah, we do a lot. He doesn't like it, but we do it.
And
it
do
pays
you
off.
still get all your homework done too?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you're a good student.
yeah.
That's a good thing. Listen, don't let girls fix any of this. Don't like. The day is coming, so I'm just listening to what I'm telling you. Like, you don't need a girlfriend. Just do what you're doing until you're an Olympian, and then you can worry about that because it's cool to be an Olympian. Because all of this is great. Good grades. Working out in the gym. That takes a lot of discipline. So he didn't get much screen time, huh?
He does.
He does.
He does.
His performance review. Yeah.
Yeah, his performance review.
Yeah.
Screen time.
Not like most kids, though. I can
Yeah.
promise you that.
Yeah, like on our trips, long trips. That's what instead of asking how much longer or when are we gonna be there.
Do y'all drive or do you fly?
No, we drive.
You drive.
Yeah.
They bike.
We didn't.
I'm just kidding.
We flew
2
a
weeks
couple
before.
of times, but not much.
So how do you get the bikes there if you fly? Do they go on the airplane?
They make-
Yeah, there's a bag they sell.
Oh, okay.
It's just money.
Just money. Yeah. I think that's what it takes for all of this. Like,
If you're in a sport, it takes money.
yeah, it does. I was actually at a birthday party yesterday, and I kind of thought I had it bad because Paisley plays softball, and I had to buy her a new bat this year because some of the regs changed. Well, the bat that we were using the prior year had been gifted to us from somebody whose daughter graduated, and it happened to be the correct bat that she needed, et cetera, et cetera. Well, they had a season where they didn't have a team, and then we all came back, and they were like, oh, the regs changed. You got to go buy another bat. So I get to the bat place, and it was a $500 bat. And I'm like, I'm telling Galen, and he was like, no. And I said, I'm telling you. I was like, there are $500 bats and there's $90 bats. There is no in between, and I don't think I'm supposed to buy the $90 one. I think there's got to be, something. There's a difference here. There's an obvious difference. So then I was talking because her school, she goes to a private school, so her school has a golf team this year, and I found out how much golf clubs cost, because all the parents were talking about it yesterday at the birthday party, and I was just like, wow, I only had to buy one bat. You got to buy all these clubs.
different club for a different kind of angle you want to hit the ball. If I'm going to spend $500 on a baseball bat, it better hit the ball for me. I ain't swinging nothing.
And you want to know what the crazy part is that we were playing one time, and these the way these bats are made, you're not supposed to hit in below a certain temperature. If it's a certain temperature outside, you ain't supposed to use that bat. And it was really cold one game, and that's the only time I've ever prayed that she did not make contact with the ball.
Don't break my bat.
Yeah, just like, because I didn't want to buy another one.
It was.
Yeah, it was freezing, and I was just like, please don't
Swing and a miss, please.
I've never heard of that. Temperature, really?
Yeah.
Nah, man, that's too complicated for me.
Well, because I'm thinking, what happened to the days of like the little like aluminum or tin or whatever bats we
wood
had?
bat,
Wood
just
bat.
whittle that out of a tree. You just get in your backyard.
Well, in softball, we never had a wood bat. It was different in softball, but like that was the same thing. It was like, what do you mean we can't hit in this temperature? Like below a certain temperature. And he didn't even know, because I was like, please God, I hope she doesn't hit the ball. And he was like, why do you not want her to hit the ball?
Well, a softball's not really a ball.
It is. It most certainly is.
Yeah, my daughter plays softball, so yeah, been there, done that.
Ryder, out of all the places you've raced your bike, where's your favorite? What's your favorite track, or where state or whatever? Where's your favorite?
He's got to think hard about that.
He's been to a lot.
Oh, he's having to go through the
Yeah.
Rolodex. Okay, I got it.
Funnest one.
Well,
Where you going next week?
we went to Georgia a couple of weeks ago. That's a fun track to go to. I really like that one.
Why'd you like
Jumps.
He likes to jump. If you ever see his video,
They're
jumps.
like, it's just different kind of stuff. And like, there's this one track, Cargill. It's like,
It's shaped like a V. Most tracks are like an M, but this one's shaped like a V. So your first turn is not a 90. So it's a, the track goes in a V.
Oh, okay. And where's Cargill at? Do you know what state that's in? Oh, it's in Shreveport. Okay.
yeah, I like it, but like on the third straight, they need to change it.
They
'cause,
did
like,
change it. We're going to find out here shortly.
Okay, but like it used to be like the tiniest little lumps on the
It's
track.
very mellow.
Yeah.
Oh, so you needed it to be more extreme.
Yeah, he wants to
Okay.
send
He
it.
wants some 6 or 7, 8 high jump.
So, Ty, what about you? Where's your favorite racetrack you ever run sprint cars on?
Oh,
Got to be a favorite. I know what Todd's is.
I don't know if I have a favorite. Which ones did I win at?
Okay, we'll put it like this. Do you like the shorter ones or the longer ones?
I like the shorter ones. The shorter ones are more fast paced. You have to think more.
Yeah.
Maybe Gator was probably a cool track.
And where's that at?
Well, Willis, Texas.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore. But I think that I got my first win there actually. But that track would change a lot. There and I guess almost the same equivalents would be Beaumont also.
Beaumont was a tacky track.
That track would bite you.
I'm like, we're still talking about ovals, right?
Yes, the oval dirt track. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Beaumont has a
Those
different
ovals
mud.
change a lot. Huh?
Yeah, Beaumont has a different mud than what we have up here. And that I remember the first time I went to Beaumont, I thought I had a right rear flat the whole time I was racing. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that track had some bite in it.
Yes. Yeah. And what about you, Todd? What's your favorite?
I don't know. I liked them all.
You liked them
He
all.
said he
Yeah.
liked if he was just
Forest Hill
volunteers.
was by far my favorite.
There you go.
You know, by far.
I knew that you were
Yeah.
going to say that because that's mine. That was my favorite.
By far my favorite.
But I'm not. I'm hating it. Fact, knowing now that you're the one that got it filled up with water, and I'm going to start this rumor.
No, wrong. Because after I left, John Sharp took back over the track. He ran it again.
Okay.
Until the end of the year or whatnot. And then
So
after
we blame
that,
John Sharp for getting it filled up with
no,
water.
No. Let's blame Clyde Holloway because he owned the track.
I got you.
He ultimately decided he didn't want to run it no
He
more.
finally said, "I'm not dealing with no more race car
needed the-
drivers. I'm putting water in this damn thing."
Yeah, and he needed more place for his plants.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the coolest little racetrack I ever raced on was probably at in La Ranja. Shaped like an
Ranja?
egg over by Amite,
Okay.
La Ranja, Louisiana. Had a covered grandstand. That track been there since, I don't know, the late 60s, I think. And I won a wing modified race over
You
there.
run the wing modified.
Correct. I was racing against, Brother
Galen,
Falks
he was
and
not a representative. He was a U.S. congressman.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, I won over there. And first time I ever been there, I won. Racing against Doug and Brother Falks and, Doug Rochon from right here.
Y'all were running that SWLA thing?
Southern Wing Modified Association, SWMA is what it was.
So y'all kept that going after Forest Hill.
Yeah. Well, for a little while. But then Keith dissolved that. And then I started an organization called the Power Series.
Okay.
POWR, Professional Outlaw Wing Races is what it was.
Yeah.
So I did that for a little while. And then whenever Melina took over 171, I sold the
So Melina would be Mike's daughter.
Mike's daughter, yeah.
You knew that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
So anyway, she took over the Power Series to run them there because I went to sprint car racing. That's kind of how that deal. That's how that deal fell in.
I got you.
So
Yeah.
when you said the track was egg shaped, did it have like a decreasing radius turn on it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and is
Yeah.
that like how much does that vary? Because I earlier I was just poking fun at because people who race road, say, oh well, NASCAR just an oval doesn't vary that much, or
everyone's
dirt
different.
doesn't vary. And
Everyone's
yeah,
different.
and that's the thing is once you kind of learn more about it, you figure out that there's so many more intricacies that you worry about, like car setup, like track conditions that you don't.
Well, some of them have higher banks too.
Yeah, different
Right.
banking radiuses
Yeah.
are all different. The surfaces are different, even on asphalt. Asphalt, cement, whatnot, they're all different. Some are wore more than others. Some are smoother, some are tear your tires up.
Because believe it or not, even in NASCAR, this is a true story. I would have never known how banked Daytona was until I was there, and then it's like it would be a struggle getting up that, just walking up it. It was insane to me. I was like, wow, I didn't realize that because it doesn't portray that way on TV. It just looks like a flat oval, and it's the same thing with dirt tracks. Some of them are, they're banked so high you'd catch a sweat, walking up that embankment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a different. I feel like I would be interested to dirt track race. I did a little bit on iRacing when we had the simulator together, but that's as close I've gotten to
Galen,
dirt
you didn't
track.
say what your favorite track was.
Forest Hill was my favorite track.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hands down.
Yeah, so talking about variables on a dirt track, what was my first experience with wearing the tires out? Was that in Houston or Dallas?
It wasn't Dallas. I don't
I
remember.
don't think so.
I don't know. He came in. He pulled in. He pulled in. He
I
said,
thought the car was.
He said the
something
car's
was breaking.
He said something wrong with the car. That is breaking. I said there's nothing wrong with the car. I think that might have been Beaumont because he pulled
Maybe
in
so.
and all the rubber wore off the tires completely. So they were way out
It
of
was
bounds.
like 3 laps to go, and I don't know if I was in the top 5. It's like
I was mad because he pulled in. There's
I
nothing wrong with the car.
didn't want to blow the car up, but I didn't
Feels
know.
like this damn thing doesn't have any tires on it.
Oh, there's no more tires.
Young, 20, 22 years old, and you learning just
Everything is actually
boatloads of
Yeah.
stuff. And you got to start picking it all off. But
So-
the next time that happened, I didn't pull off.
Yeah.
So between World of Outlaws and High Limit, which one?
That's a toss up.
You
Yeah,
watch them
that-
both?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So you got different drivers in each one that y'all watch?
I watch all the drivers.
Yeah.
I don't have a.
they all good.
Yeah, I don't have one I like the most.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Nah.
I like watching Outlaws more, just because it's Cousin's team. But man, they both have great drivers in them.
Well, the like Kyle Larson is what he does the high limit, correct?
Yeah, him and Brad. Yeah,
Him and Brad Sweet.
They own it.
Yeah, they own it. So there's equal amount of like talent in both of them.
Correct.
Really,
I'd say yeah.
I don't know why they split those up. Late models is the same way. Late models is split up as well. They got Lucas. They got why don't they ever go together where
Well-
all these guys can race together?
They do have a few races that are combined. The high limit guys, I think the initial target was they wanted to race like midweek stuff.
Yeah, they do a lot of Wednesday racing.
Yeah,
For more money.
Yeah.
He has some sponsors come on board to be able to afford a bigger purse. So that's where that high limit stuff comes in.
yeah. I kind of like the Outlaws program, like the way they set the night up a little bit better than High Limit does. And some people don't like John Gibson's announcing. I like it. He does a good job with explaining on what's going on and stuff like that.
So what
Believe
about-
it or not, it takes a lot to do announcing. I don't think a lot of people realize that, and I didn't realize that either until I worked in radio. And we had a sports caller that was, phenomenal. He's gonna go places in life. He already is headed that way, and I just didn't realize it until he left. And then we got another announcer, and it was just like, it's. He's good. He's
Yeah.
just not that guy.
Yeah.
And it's just not the same. It takes a lot. And believe it or not, I think Benny Parsons was one of my favorite announcers for NASCAR. He was one of my favorites. And I liked Dale too. Darrell Waltrip. I liked him when he did NASCAR, but Benny Parsons was just
Because they were both race car drivers, so
Yes.
they knew the inside and the outside.
Yes.
Darrell Waltrip.
Whenever
I liked Darrell Waltrip.
I like
Oh
when he
my
announced. He was
God.
funny.
He was funny.
Yeah. Whenever I did some announcing for the Wing Modified series, and I did some announcing for the ASCS series. When I wasn't racing, I would announce also. So knowing the drivers, knowing the stuff about the race cars, the technical stuff, you kind of explain a little bit to the fans what's going on with all that stuff. You can't get too far in because they'll be like, "What the hell?" Are you
I
talking
have
about?"
some of that. I have some of your announcing on tape because I used to have Justin film the races from the press box.
Yeah.
And you're in there several times on several of them.
But
tapes.
it makes a
Yikes.
difference when somebody is that experienced in it. So when somebody just knows their stuff
Right.
and they dedicate their life to that or having that knowledge or whatever it is, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, because if something goes on the racetrack, people will think this happened, and you explain to them, no, the tire was breaking. That's why the man hit the wall head on or ran
Right.
into this guy. It wasn't because he ran into him. He ran into him because the car broke down. You know?
can always
so
tell-
sometimes you have to explain that to people for them to understand.
You can always tell in the big leagues like NBA, NFL, NASCAR, all those, when there's somebody they've put there as a hire just because they have no idea what they're talking about and they're not good to listen to. And I'm always like, God, why do they have this person here? They have no business being here. They don't know. And it's really sucks because it's better when somebody knows about what they're talking about.
Exactly right.
Like
So-
Rogan in the UFC. Man, you watch a fight when Rogan's commentating, it's like, because he's a BJJ black belt and, a fighter and all
Correct.
that. It's like,
Correct.
He's
gets
knowledgeable.
in the mind of it, it's
So Todd, why do y'all think, and I'm asking this to you and Ty, why do y'all think that there's more of the guys from sprint cars go into higher level racing? For instance, like Corey Day won the O'Reilly race yesterday. He's from sprint cars. Kyle Larson, Rick little Abreu. Why do you think that is?
Probably a lot of it has to do, like what Todd just said, all this information coming at you 100 miles an hour.
Money or talent?
Talent. That's talent. Because they can be on top of the race cars. What I'm saying is, if NASCAR is kind of a slow motion driving. You know what I'm saying? A sprint car ain't. It's wide open. You always moving the steering
So you
wheel
think
one way or the
it's-
other.
If you
But,
can master driving a sprint car, there's no other car that would be a challenge.
Yeah, that's why.
I don't know if y'all saw the race yesterday, but Corey Day made a pass on the outside, banged off the wall, and won the race with 3 laps to go, and it looked like a sprint car move at Dover.
So-
if you,
yeah, he's comfortable with it.
yeah.
That's simple.
It's because you don't get many people coming out of late models that go into bigger racing. You know what I'm saying?
Late models are slow.
If Robbie Stewart's listening, I'm sorry.
They're so cool looking.
No, that was a stab.
they're cool.
They are cool looking.
Yeah, and they picked up a lot of speed in the last probably 25, 30 years. You know?
Jessica knows I strive to be cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just so curious when you described how the sprint cars were, because to me, right off the bat, it sounded like go-kart racing, like because a lot of go-kart racing is real twitchy and kind of that same.
It's very
deal.
quick. Yeah.
Is that kind of how you think you got a taste for it? Since I assume you started in karts before.
Yeah, that's it. And then how old was I? I hot lapped you modified. 13 or 14 years old.
14.
14.
Yeah, it's 14. Yeah, we have a picture
14.
of it. Yeah, I let him get my wing modified at Forest Hill one night.
Going from a go-kart, racing a go-kart for 6-7 years to a car that was like I was on a water mattress. That's what it felt. That's what went through my mind. I was like, this is very weird.
Yeah,
Because it
I
moves.
bet.
The cart don't move.
Yeah.
You know,
Very rigid.
yeah, it's rigid. You know,
Right.
you just feel everything in your steering wheel and your butt. Race cars are the same thing too, but you have a suspension under you, so that softens everything as you're going through humps, bumps, holes, and you know, even when you hit the wall sometime.
Yeah, you're just like you're
it's
like,
not as
man,
bad.
yeah, the go-kart's twitchy, and then the sprint car's like twitchy plus oversteer
Yeah, and
management.
full of power.
Yeah.
Full of power. Yeah.
Well, the difference is, to me, it seems like sprint car drivers, a lot of them are ending up in NASCAR and some of the lower series. But if you talk about Indy racing, like what's going to happen at Indianapolis this month, a lot of them guys come from go-karts. Formula One, they all come from go-karts. So it's different. And I was wondering why.
Suspension.
Yeah.
I always look at it as suspension because your Indy cars and Formula One cars, you know, you might have an inch of travel at the
They
most. on
check their ride
anything.
heights with feeler gauges.
Yeah. So, and that's what I'm saying. You don't.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they turn different ways. You know what I'm saying? All the same size tires in the back and the front. You know, a stock car, sprint car, whatever. Shoot, sprint car especially, we have different size tires all the way around the thing. You know, so everything's different. But yeah, that's why they. I think they're more adaptive. Maybe sprint car drivers.
Yeah.
And get into any NASCAR or whatnot, trucks and off-road stuff. You know.
So the track in Shreveport that he races at, is there any other tracks on the property, or is it just the BMX? Because they used to have a four-wheeler flat track up there in Shreveport. No more.
The track that's in Shreveport's in Cargill Park.
Okay.
So the racetrack's in the corner of a city park, and then there's baseball fields everywhere. So the same parking lot that's utilized for the whole park.
Yeah.
And most of the time, that's how it is. It's a government owned.
My wheels
Facilities.
are already turning. Just
City on.
But I'm saying, did the we were redoing the ballpark, but didn't Rick say something about on his property he was at one time thought about doing a BMX?
there's been some thoughts, there's been some discussions. So hopefully that's something that we could make happen here.
Yeah, and another alternate route would be like a pump track, which it simulates a BMX track, but it's continuous. And most places that have that are like Paris, Texas has a super nice one. They hold big events, UCI events there also. But they they'll pave it the way it's self-sufficient. You don't have to do anything with it.
And it's called a pump track.
Pump track.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah.
Because I know BMX racing is a big thing. I mean, it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
So
It's with a BMX track, it comes with people have to be there.
Yeah.
Somebody has to run a gate, somebody has to announce, somebody has to work the do motos, and it's a job.
Tracks are slowly going away every now and then. I don't know if y'all watch the guys over at just bought the track in Milton, Florida. Y'all watch the Hunt the Front guys? They run late models. They just bought a racetrack over there. And they had sprint cars there last night. Matter of fact,
That's a USCS sprint cars went.
yes.
Yeah.
That's in Milton, Florida.
In
The
Milton,
guys on
right.
YouTube, they got some kind of YouTube channel, and they bought a racetrack. And
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I know who that
so
was.
the guy last night, the one that won Friday night, Saturday night, they offered him $1,000 to start in the rear.
back.
Christopher Townsend.
Yes.
We raced him.
and
I raced against him.
yeah, and he won.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he took his $1,000 and went to the back and come back through him and won the race.
And won the race, correct.
Yeah.
that's confidence.
That's $1,000.
He said,
He was going for it there. Well,
Let's
he
take
knows
it.
the car was fast. So
Let me
he
tell you
knew
what
to do.
happened. Joshua Joyner said, we'll give you $500 to start at the back. And if you win, we'll add that to the purse. And he goes, make it 1,000. And the guy said, okay, we got to go to the back and win. So they made it 1,000. He went to the back and did it anyway. So, yeah,
Right.
he ended up with like $5,000, I think, with the race.
Yeah,
That's a good
you did
deal.
Good, yeah.
Yep.
What
Yeah,
was
you
that race the one time? I'm almost positive Galen cheated. He wasn't driving though, so I don't guess it's considered cheating. There was a
wouldn't say it was.
race at Leesville one time. I think it was $1,000 to win, and it was street stock. And essentially, what they did was pulled this car out of nowhere, which is what a lot of people did. They had to have spent more than $1,000 to even be in the race to win $1,000. So they put this car together. I've never seen a street stock tow to tire. I have never seen a street stock tow to tire. And Devane was driving that car. What was that? It was a Camaro.
Bill Doucette motor.
Yeah, so we had some power in there.
They rolled it out, brought it to the shop. We did some welding on it, changed the fuel cell because it was going to be a longer race and the fuel cell was too small. And they put one of Bill's motors in it, and Devane drove it. It didn't make the race. It ran hot in the end. But when they started the race, I was on the phone with Bill from the stands because he wanted to know lap by lap what was going on. What's he doing? I said, he's leading
sounds
right
like Bill.
now. He's doing this. And so I need to go visit Bill.
He was toting Devane was toting a left front tire in a street stock. And I'm putting air quotes up because I still think y'all did something to that car.
Nah, it's just setup. That's setups. Whenever a car looks like that, that's all on setup.
Is dirt track all carbureted?
No.
No.
It's gone. It used to be carbureted when we raced.
Some are carbureted, some are fuel injected.
Yeah.
Most of the sprint car stuff we raced was fuel injection, mechanical fuel injection.
Okay. Is there
With the stack sticking up, you know what I'm talking
Yeah, and
That's how you
it's-
explain it.
right? Is I assume that the tuning is part of that.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Of course.
Chili bowls done going to
Absolutely.
that. That's
Yeah, you have to
fuel
change
injected
jets, yeah.
tuning and
And air densities, that you have to take all that into consideration. How hot, cold it is. You know, you have to do timing. Of course, we ran timing the same, but yeah, there's a lot of technical stuff we can get into and talk for days about that. But
Right.
yeah,
So did you ever do anything that was like, I've heard Galen talk. Have you ever done anything that was like on the cusp of tech? Like,
oh yeah,
yeah, statute of limitations up.
but never cheated. Now we got tore down 2 or 3 times at
Right, it's
Forest
not
Hill,
necessarily
and we made a bunch of
cheating.
money on it.
I hated that.
yeah.
You know, bring me your money because I'm gonna take it. There's nothing cheating on this motor.
Do they put limits on the tuning side of it too? Like
not tuning.
I wouldn't expect
much,
so. That wouldn't
but
really make
I
sense.
really
to
don't know
me,
what.
right?
I know there's a lot of tuning in drag racing now. I don't know about the tuning in dirt tracking or sprint cars, anything like that. But I know they do have major tuning going on in drag racing. You can watch that.
So what is the one you were telling me about? He did something to the car. I can't remember. And he had somebody stand in front of something and tech.
Could have been
So
much.
it's a story about Thunder Valley. So I went to they had the Oakdale Market something 1,000 to win thing, and I'm gonna if Keith Mansell watches this, I'll get busted. But I'll go ahead and tell it.
Hey Keith, now you know.
Yeah, but I ended up going out there, and in the heat race, I got in an accident, and it mashed one of my oil. I had an oil cooler on the car, and it mashed one of my lines kind of halfway in two. And I thought, well, I shouldn't race. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get no oil to the motor. So I go out there to start the feature in the back. So I'm starting the feature in the back. My oil pressure's good. I give it gas down the front straightaway. It's still good. I'm going, okay, well, we'll race. So anyway, I started picking cars off. Boom, 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 boom. Well, I ended up going and passing Keith Mansell for the lead and winning the race, $1,000. What I didn't do was I didn't take my heat race tires off of the car because I didn't think I was going to be out there very long. So I won the feature on the left rear of an EC0.
Oh.
Had a 0 on it.
Instead of a 1 or with
Instead
2
of a
whatever.
1 or 2, a 0s are not legal.
Just a little too soft.
So I had my pit guy. I said, while they weighing it, you need to stand by that tire. Don't let nobody go over there. So he, the whole way, hey, and this guy did what I told him. I mean, if I told this guy one time, he got on Richard's ass because I told them not to be checking the percentages on my car when I go over the scales. And he went over there. And Richard said, "Get your." I didn't hear it. And Richard come over. He goes, "I don't tell people percentages." And I'm going, "Okay, well, I was just."
Right.
Making
Make it sure.
Yeah. Because me and Robert out there, we were running like almost in the feature race, we were running like 300 pounds of left rear. And it was unheard of, but we had shocks and other things going on that it worked. I don't know how it worked,
That's what I ran. Ran them old tractor weights back there.
Tractor weights.
Tractor weights. If you ever looked in the trunk of my car,
Yes.
I was
And
always
it's crazy that y'all were able to figure that stuff out. It's like if you offset it this much at this track, and you shift the body this way, and you're able to get some rollout on it, then it goes and it comes off the turn faster and all that.
The way I was doing it, we would run lots of left rear, and then in the heat race, I'd run lots of stagger to get rid of the left rear, and then as it would go on through the night, I had everybody run their fuel cells to the left, I run mine to the right. So as I was losing fuel, I was gaining more left rear.
Right.
So it just kept on and kept on and kept on until we had a car. Now you have to have good brakes on this car, because I would watch these guys do donuts. I could have never done a donut in my car.
He would turn right.
Yeah. You hit the brakes, it goes left. You hit the gas, it's going to go right.
Right.
So it was like, I watched them guys do them donuts, and I'm going, I would never be able to do donut in my
Is
car.
there anything that you can do in BMX that's comparable to this, or it's just like it's just the bike?
$5,200 bike is comparable to that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, there's different tires, different tire compounds.
Okay.
Different gear ratios. They change gears all the time. The sprockets.
Yeah,
Is
you're
what I'm
still
trying to
setting
say.
your bike up.
Yeah, so it's
Okay,
still
so
set up.
there is a setup.
Oh yeah. Linked cranks.
Yeah, we
I
there's
just thought
actually
about that. Keith's going to be calling me, telling me I owe him $1,000.
some
Damn.
Too late.
that money spent.
Yeah, that went right back into the car. 100%.
It's a tech man's fault. Not yours.
So so now there's like on your front, they call it a chain ring sprocket. There's some technology out where you can go decimal gears. So you can go like a 41.1, 41.2, and then you jump up to a 41.7 because you can't move the material up enough. But even like those gears are $60 per, and I have
And
stack
this is
of 'em
going to
now.
be at different tracks. You're going to need different
yeah, because
setups.
some hills are 30 foot tall, some of them are 8 foot tall.
So does Ryder know how to do all this stuff?
He knows he can change a gear, but it's to my discretion on what, because I'll video and I'll go back and forth to other kids, him and, foot speed and where you get to the 30 foot. There's timers in the tracks now.
Oh,
So
okay.
There's a bunch of stuff that goes on.
Okay, I got a question.
I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
Sometimes Papa calls in or texts. He got too much gear. He's spinning his legs too much. So I'm texting him from the
You
sideline.
backseat driving with the bike,
And he
too?
tells me, no, he's not doing that. I'm like, yeah.
I hear you doing that on video. And so my question is, do you want him to keep the bike on the ground, or so sometimes he will make a jump and that's quicker. So how do y'all get to a track and determine it stays on the ground? Because he's pushing it down.
Yeah.
The rider determines that.
Yeah, he
Okay.
determines that. You can feel it. Some jumps are like the face of it might be a little more steep, and then the backside is deep. So it's hard to push the bike back down whenever you're going 25 miles an hour versus just jumping it, and it's a smoother transition. It'll take more effort to push the bike back down, and if you don't we call it a bonk. The front tire a hit, and it'll slow you down.
So it's quicker. And I'm assuming it's quicker. You keep the bike on the ground because it's pedaling.
right,
Or you can pedal the
yeah,
Right.
the more it'll
you
go.
Gotcha.
The more
it'll go.
pedals we call it the more cranks. The more cranks you get in, the more speed you'll gain.
Right.
Or maintain, either way.
Huh.
So
I'm learning
it's-
so much
it's-
new stuff today.
It's so technical, yeah. BMX is pretty damn technical. The width of the handlebars, the bend back height, just like on a motorcycle right there, The size pedals you use and stuff.
I don't know
like
the
that.
way Ryder said he didn't want anything to do with motorcycles, but the way he looked at Greg's motorcycle when he come in here, I'm not convinced.
He had one.
He had one. What
Yeah,
did he
yeah,
do
one.
with it?
The motorcycle. We sold it.
He just wants that to go back and forth to school.
Oh, is that what it is? No, he's like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
But yeah.
So what's the scariest thing like that y'all ever saw in person
Or happened to you.
or happened to you? Yeah, at a racetrack.
I seen a man catch on fire and jump out his car while he's doing about 60 miles an hour at the Devil's Bowl one night.
That
Long
was
time
the
ago.
Devil's Bowl?
Yes.
Where is the Devil's Bowl at?
It's in Dallas.
Okay.
Mesquite, actually.
Okay.
It's closed down one of the most famous tracks in the United States for a long time. He caught on fire down the back straightaway on methanol fire, and we couldn't see the flames until he was almost at the end of the straightaway. And finally, when we saw the flames, it was on the infield. The guy just bails out the car, and the car was going, 50, 60 miles an hour. I was like, oh my God. But I've seen people get killed in them.
Yeah.
But that's not fun to talk about.
I only learned about methanol fires like a few years ago for the first time, and I was like, whoa, there's
Yeah.
an invisible fire that can just,
Can't see him.
That's true.
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It's pretty
Yeah.
scary.
It's very
The
scary.
scariest thing I ever saw was actually, it wasn't anything to do with race cars, but it was at Leesville Racetrack. They were doing 4-wheeler races. They were racing quads there. And it happened, 2 things happened that night that shut the track down for a long time. And it was very scary for me both times. One was they were at the start, and they're revving up and they're doing their thing. And for whatever reason, I'll never understand why it happened or why he stepped out there. Like they waved the flag for them to go, and the photographer stepped out in front of all of them. I don't know if he didn't realize the guy had waved the flag or whatever happened, so he got run over.
I was in that race.
Yes, you were. And then there was another one where they were going around the track, and it was in turn 1 and 2, and I don't remember what happened there either, but the guy kind of spun out and another guy went over the top of him, and that shut the track down for a long time. And that one was that was when I was like, no, I'm not.
Well, they quit 4-wheeler racing.
Yeah. That was, to me, I had seen a lot of stuff with race cars, but it seems so much more dangerous because it was out in the open.
Yeah, you don't have a cage protecting you.
There's nothing around you.
So
they're
Todd,
probably
when I
going-
lost track of you in 2000, so that's what me and Justin did. So in '99, we had so many tracks around here. We had Manny, Leesville, Thunder Valley. They were all open. I ended up racing 48 times that year.
That's a lot.
Yes, and I wore myself out in '99. And so me and Justin took the year off of 2000, and we built 2 4-wheelers and went flat track racing.
Right. Hey, flat track race is cool.
It was fun.
Yeah. Now
yeah.
you know why he says racing is a disease.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
Well, that's what we're going to name this podcast, because racing is a disease for which there is no cure.
No cure. Exactly right.
So what about you? What's the scariest thing you ever saw? Him?
Him.
Really?
Yeah,
What
show him
happened?
your scar.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
So the story goes, which we're gonna go back to this track 4 or 5 weeks from now in Rockford, Illinois. So we send him with BMX friends, him with just people not mom and daddy's not with him. He's what, 10 years old? 11? It wasn't that long ago.
No, you were like 10
Yeah, I think you were 10.
So he went by himself.
He went by himself.
with some other parent.
Yeah, with some other parents, which it happens all the time. So on the way there, one of the little boys, it was 2 daddies and then 3 boys. One of the little boys had strep throat on the way there. He ends up crashing for practice. Apparently hurt his arm, had a little muscle tear. Was it Friday or Saturday? I think it was Friday. Friday he raced and he complained about it hurting. And Saturday he tried to race and he couldn't. So Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday driving home, they actually brought him to the hospital because he cried so much about his arm hurting. And we end up going pick him up from Rain, bringing him to the urgent care, and they x-rayed him. Nothing's broken. So we're like, what's going on? Well, he's running 104 fever. They check his throat. It's a little red, nothing. He's not complaining about his throat. He's, miserable with his arm. So they took some blood, and his white blood cell count was through the roof. They was like, bring him to Lady of Lords in Lafayette right now. So we brought him, and we stayed in there for a week. So what happened was the strep attacked the inflammation in his arm, and they had to dig that infection out in his arm.
Oh, my
And we stayed in the
gosh.
hospital. He stayed in the hospital like 5 nights from that.
Well, it makes it different when it's your kid too.
Yeah.
And it was attacking his bone.
Yeah, there was another couple of days that they had to dig in his bone.
Oh my God.
You didn't like that, did you, buddy?
That hurt him.
So there's a little funny part about it. The guy he rode with the guy who is the track operator in New Orleans, which is Gretna BMX. His name is Clark, and on the way home, he must have been saying, "Ow, ow, ow!" Poor, the little boy crying, he's hurting, and they was like, "We had enough. Say something else instead of ow." So they say, "Don't say bananas." So he said, "Bananas, bananas." So now all the time on Facebook, we'll say, I'll post something and then Clark will comment #bananas.
#bananas.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so now he wants to go back to the track that he hurt himself on and conquer.
Show him who's
racetrack.
boss,
Yeah.
huh?
So Todd will remember this one time, Todd, at Forest Hill, Terry Driggers.
Oh,
You remember that?
I will remember that.
So he did the same thing. His wing modified caught on fire. And this is no joke. Me and, like I said, him and his uncle, we're hot and cold. That night, Terry's car hadn't even quit moving, but you could tell it was coasting. And Keith Johnson, his uncle, got on the kick rail, went in the car, undone the seat belts, and the car was on fire. And it rolled up into turn 1 and 2, and they got him out. And I remember, I don't know if I was working there that night because of the sprint cars maybe or something. I don't remember why I was working there, but somebody sent me to the concession stand to get ice. So
ice them down.
yeah, 2 or 3 of us ran up there. We got bags of ice, and we went down there, and Terry Driggers, this is no joke, was laying in the middle of that racetrack in his underwear because the fire suit burned off, and we stacked ice around him till the helicopter got there. And it's like, but his uncle was a hero that night because he was at that car before it ever even stopped.
Yeah,
I mean, it
he
rolled
was chasing
another,
it down.
Yeah, it rolled another
So was it
football.
visibly on fire?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
okay. It was
engulfed.
visibly on fire. Okay.
He was engulfed. He had I think he hit the wall. He had an old fuel cell. It ruptured.
Yeah.
And the sparks caught it on fire, and he spun out is what happened. And when he spun out backwards, all the fuel was under his car and him.
No.
So that's what I had. My car broke down right before that, and when I seen it happen, I took off running from the pits. I had my gloves on because I'm going to help the man out, right?
Right.
So, but they'd already got him out before I made it to the other end of the racetrack. But when I got there, he was laying before y'all even got there. He was laying down. They took him on, put him on, laying him in the mud, if you remember right. Yeah. And he was laying on his back, hands out like this, and the skin was literally melting off of his fingers.
Yeah.
I mean, he still has them, but they're all burned. If you talk to him today, they're all burned up. But yeah, that was scary.
So who are some of the guys that we raced in the 90s that's not with us anymore? We already mentioned Rob Hewitt.
Yeah, I said Rob.
And Rick Court. Rick Court
Court
passed away.
Yeah. We had another guy that raced the wing modifieds with us. Black guy.
Yeah.
Trying to think of his name.
Where is Gene Satig at?
He's still in Eunice.
Is he still doing machine work?
Still doing motor work.
Yeah. There's so many names that we had back then that raced and were good racers that won races, and it's like you can't remember them all.
No.
And
For a long time, we had over 100 race cars in that pit every
Yes.
Saturday night.
you couldn't fit another car in that place.
And he would leave a class out every. I think once a weekend we had one class off because there were so many cars. I think that's how he did it.
But Keith did a good job at promoting that track and everything. But I think the reason it succeeded for 6 or 7 years was the tech guy, Richard Butler. Richard, in the beginning, I was so I used to think Richard and Bo Douglas. You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it got to the point where he was running such a straight show, and everybody that went to Forest Hill knew you're going to get a fair shot because, he was fair with everybody. And Richard worked at a tractor dealership up there close to Alexandria, but he was a good tech man, and I think a tech man at any track that's fair and reasonable. I think that's
right.
that's the success of a track.
And that's what'll draw your cars. They say, well, they're not letting anybody cheat over there. I mean,
That's
they're
right.
treating everybody the same. So
And money don't matter in that instance. Money does not matter. If you set up, a lot of guys got money, and you can get beat by engines and stuff. But if you got a good setup and you don't have to spend the money and you got a fair tech guy.
Me, Bo Douglas, he's still mad at me. We had a race. Remember that race we had in December one year? We all had a Superstock race. Keith let anybody come with a 400 cubic inch or lower, and then aluminum wheels if you wanted to race that. Remember that?
Yeah.
You raced that race?
I was in another guy's car that he wanted me. I showed up in my work boots, and I didn't have my fire suit with me. He goes, "Could you race my car tonight?" He had something going on with his arm, and I raced another guy's car. Of
It
course,
was like a December race. It was a day race, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And we beat Bo Douglas, me and old Pete. We talked about it before, and everybody was going to put aluminum wheels. I told Pete, I said, I'm not changing nothing on my car. It goes as fast as it can go like it is. If I change something, it's going to be screwed up. So I'm going to race it like it is. So me and Pete, we left our cars the same. The only two that
You
I
talking
remember.
about Pete Lowe?
Pete Lowe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And I won, and he finished second. And we beat everybody out there. Man,
Didn't
they
need
had
them aluminum wheels, did you?
400 cubic inch motors screaming and spinning the tires and aluminum wheels. They were
So
14
what was
inch
the guy mad
wide.
about?
He said the track was too rough.
Oh,
no, okay. So
So that's what he keeps saying. The track was too rough. That's why he beat me. It's like racing in a cornfield. I said, yeah, I raced the same cornfield you raced in.
So Bo Douglas was kind of like the villain with the rest of us. Okay, he was a farmer. He was a good guy. Matter of fact, Justin, my son, that was his favorite driver. If you ask Justin, who's your favorite driver? Bo Douglas.
Yeah.
And I would
Bo.
go,
He's a good dude.
You know.
wow.
So anyway, there was one time you remember Donald Bennett. He had a green Quaker State car, and he was winning. Me and Donald was friends. Bo done something, and he ended up behind me. So when we went under caution, when he dropped the green flag, you know what? Bo was right behind me. I brake checked him. Boom. He ran in the back of me and give Donald a head start. Let's go, because I knew Bo was going to catch him and pass him. So I brake checked him. And
helping Donald out.
yeah, I was helping Donald out. I got that on tape too. But
was that nice?
I don't care. It is what it is.
Okay, so what's the maddest that y'all have been at the racetrack?
We don't
I
want to
don't
go
look
there.
through mine.
He was, no, they don't. They're just like not going to talk about
I
it.
was mad every time.
Yeah, he
Only-
wasn't doing the breathing techniques.
We got two, and it's always he's always in there. It's all his fault, Ty.
Are you an
The sprint
instigator?
car? No, not at all.
No. Okay.
Just yeah.
Oh, okay.
They were always they were always laid back at the track. Never anything.
Yeah, no, except this one last time.
Where was it at?
We was in Texas,
Texas.
Longview, Texas.
Okay.
We got into it with a longtime rival over there. It was bad. It was a bad one.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
that was my favorite part of being in the
We
pits.
almost went to jail.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
But you didn't. So
but
congratulations.
we got out of there. Well, it was rough.
That was always the most interesting part of the pits to me.
It was kind of
the-
fun though. It was me, Ty, my brother Troy, and we had another guy helping us, T, from Bazille. More coon asses, you know. And Texas boys didn't want none of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did they not know? They couldn't hear how y'all was talking.
We met up with him. Well, and I'm not gonna talk about what really went down, but we met up with him about 2 months, 3 months. No, a year later. Yeah, a year later, they came. Correct. They came to a race that we were at, and the pit meeting. You know, they stood on the side of us, and I walked up to them. I said, "Hey," I said, "Are we here to race, or are we here to do whatever else?" And the wife said, "No, we're here to race. We want to race. We don't want no trouble." She said 3 of them went to the hospital, and it took them 3 weeks to recuperate.
Oh, see,
Like,
okay.
So they want to race. They
So
don't
the
want.
point-
They didn't want no more business.
The point had been made then.
Yeah.
That was all they needed to know.
I just can't stop
I
thinking
don't.
about.
I can't believe that. Go ahead.
I just can't stop thinking about, when you get on the track with the bike and you just reach that like flow state where you're calm and you're thinking about your lines and you're it's almost like you reach a point where you're not even thinking.
That's correct. That's called. I mean, a lot of people say you're in the zone.
But I just can't stop thinking about how Galen's just over there fueled by hate and anger, just pushing him.
I know, because here's the thing.
I mean,
Crazy.
I
Like,
raced for
that's
20
nuts.
years, and you're talking about being in the zone. I
Yeah.
can only remember one time being in the zone where I didn't remember the race. I was in the race, finished second to Tony Taylor. I remember racing Tony, but the race was no memory to me because I was keyed
Yeah.
right there. But that's the only time in 20 years. Every other time I was pissed off.
Everybody always is like, Galen's so sweet, and Galen's so nice, and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, no.
You haven't seen him in the race car with a helmet on. Hey,
He's got y'all fooled.
did you see that video I posted on Facebook? It's an old wing modified race. I think it's from 2000.
Yeah?
They had some kind of special Texas versus Louisiana modified race.
Okay.
I couldn't go to Friday night. I probably had no money. I don't know what it was, but I went to Saturday and I started dead last.
Yeah.
And I raced all the way up to third. I was like, dang. But I seen the video, and I'm just like you. I don't remember that race. I don't
Yeah.
remember racing that race.
Yeah. It happens. I mean, the good guys, like the big guys, Jeff Gordon, Tiger Woods, they can get in the zone like that. That's one of their. But a normal person can't do that. Like every time you go act.
It was kind of freaky on the bike. Like I remember when I first started experiencing that in college, and we, I went to Texas A&M, and we have like a road out there, kind of east of College Station, that was an excellent road for riding. And sometimes I would get back after that, riding that road with the group or whatever, and I'd be like, I don't remember like parts of that ride, like because you would really have to zone in on
the
it.
zone, yeah.
And that's a freaky kind of sensation.
Yeah, my last probably 2 years of racing, I was able to get into that zone a bunch, and like starting mid pack or something and just passing up cars, and then all of a sudden I'm in the front. And it was weird because I don't remember any. I remember like colors, I don't remember numbers or anything. I just remembered being locked in on what I was doing, racing a racetrack, and I'm charging for the lead. That's all I was worried about. Is you get on the racetrack and like, dude, you know who you beat? I don't know.
God,
I won though.
Second or third year of being in the motorcycle club at A&M, we, every year we would go out to Lakey, Texas, to the Three Twisted Sisters and run that route in Texas Hill Country. Y'all ever been out there? Mm-mm. It's some very technical riding, through canyons. It looks like California or something, except I don't know, like what's the one in North Carolina, the Dragon.
It's Tail of the Dragon?
It's kind of like that. Yeah, it's not quite as good as Tail of the Dragon.
Yeah, I've heard about it. I had a motorcycle road too, but we didn't go do that. Tail of the Dragon and the Pig Trail. Up in Arkansas.
And that's like,
OE23. That's fun.
If you screw up on those roads, especially like Three Twisted Sisters, because the road conditions are not near as good as Tail of the Dragon, and there's way more elevation change, I would say. And I remember I had a ZX6R at that time, and that's a sneakily fast like track bike, and I didn't know the roads as well as I do now, but I just remember flying through one of those turns and coming up on a straight, and I'm rocking. I'm probably, I'm going fast. I'm not going to say
breaking the law. Breaking the law.
But I come up over this hill, and there's this sudden elevation change right down, and my front wheel comes up, and we're at triple digits, and I'm in the air. And I come down, and everything was fine. I was in the zone, but it was just like, what the hell am I doing? And I started going on the track after that.
If you want to race, go on a racetrack.
Yeah.
You figure a little rodent or something would run out in front of you, like a dog or a little squirrel or something, a rabbit.
Yeah.
What happens,
cows.
right?
There were cows that run out over, and in fact, and deer. So many deer out there. My best friend from the motorcycle club, Brian, he hit a deer and cut it in half.
That's scary.
But stayed on the bike. Didn't have any. It was the most crazy deer story. They're in Lakey. Yes.
We had a close call one time coming back from wife and I rode to Missouri, and we was coming down to what's the name of that little Eureka Springs. So we was riding on some back roads. We almost got taken out by a wild turkey. Oof. And not the one you drink either. Like a real bird. That thing flew right over my head. It was like we both ducked. Oh my God.
Both.
And it was in the middle of nowhere.
Both equally dangerous.
Yes.
So Todd, y'all got he said something a while ago about having a wrecking yard. Y'all still got a lot of your old cars? No sprint cars. You got rid of all of it.
It's all gone.
All gone.
The only thing we have left in the shop is that little go-kart.
Yeah.
It's all gone.
The little go-kart he drove?
The cart we still have the one that I still have the one that he drove.
Okay.
We never restored it, but we have another one, a regular flat cart. They call it the circle track flat cart.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have no more race cars.
So what's the plans?
BMXing. We put all that into BMX.
So you don't want to ride BMX?
I'd like to. If I do, I don't want to win. But the way I work, I can't ride like I'd want to.
Right.
And if I can't ride like I want to, I'll go on a thing and get hurt. Then I can't work. I still have to make a living. I'm not.
And Ty, how often do you ride?
Not that often. It all depends on how races fall out. I'm pretty much doing the state stuff and probably a Gold Cup.
Yeah.
So he'll probably ride 4 times as much as I do. But whenever I'm on the racetrack, I ride pretty hard. I'm pretty intense with it because second place is just not fun.
So what's the hardest part, Ryder? The start, the finish, the jumps?
It's really the start, because like if you don't get it good, you're in the back of the pack and you get squeezed out. Like other people would like just go in front of you and just.
So it's a strategic thing. Once you get started, if you got squeezed out, they know what they're doing as far as the lines go.
What he's asking is, are the other riders being strategic by doing the squeeze?
Yeah, because like they're cutting.
Ryder,
you
you squeeze people out. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
if I have the chance.
If you have to, okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way.
You
It's the way
take
it
their,
is in
take
racing.
their line
So
take
I
their line
always
away.
wonder, why don't you just go higher and like it's kind of like you think about racing and say, why don't you just go higher and get them all on the outside? It's not the same in BMX.
No.
is it?
It don't work that way.
No, that's a long way around. You
There's
don't have the same legs, you know. So it's not like someone has 50 more horsepower and they could do it or whatever.
I got you.
It's pretty strategic. Like even a gate start, there's so many mechanics that go into that. Like bar height will make your like if you're standing up on a bike, the bar height will make your back angle a certain angle, and if you want to take off, you want to go forward. So if your bars are too high, you're gonna go up. Well, you want your motion to go forward. So there's a bunch of things you can do, and also like setting your feet, a certain height or lower, or back at the gears. You can change the gear, go smaller with a gear. There's so many things that can change, and also too, like if you change a gear, if you go one tooth up on your front sprocket, which that'll make your rear wheel go forward. So now, whenever you do a manual, it's gonna act different because you move the rear wheel a quarter of an inch forward.
Changes
So there's a bunch of things that go into
Changes the suspension
what you
on the
think
bike.
is just a bicycle. It's not.
I'm having Pinewood Derby flashbacks when you're talking about the gate drop because there's like similar mechanics that
Yeah.
we.
Yeah, there's so much
funny.
that goes onto that. I mean, you really want to chase it. You really want, whenever the gate falls, there's a cadence. This rider's ready. Watch the gate, and it's beep 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 beep, and then there's light you can watch also. So you want to try to chase the gate down and be the first one out.
You
'Cause
really
if
do
not-
have to love racing a lot. I don't know if anybody watching has noticed this, but Ty has a race car number tattooed on his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that your number?
No, that's Jason's number.
Oh, that's Jason's number.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, that's a
Yeah.
race car number.
Yeah.
Okay. But you really got to love something to permanently put it on your body. Like you really got to love something like that. So I thought that was pretty, because at first when I was looking at it, I was like, I can't tell what that is. And then I was like, that's a race car number.
That's cousin Jason's race car
yeah.
number.
So his was 41.
41.
And yours was 49.
49.
And yours was 47.
Started at 47.
And then what did it become?
Well, it was 47 because Uncle Keith had 49 and Uncle Craig had 57. So I just took half their numbers.
Okay. And then
And-
what did it become after that?
49.
49.
Right.
And then you started with 49.
And then he took over.
So what is Ryder's
The number was handed down is what it was.
Okay.
From Keith.
There's no
from
number on
From
BMX.
1970.
Oh, it's the ranking.
Your
okay.
number plate will change every year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jason's number 41, that was something that was gift to him because he was 75.
Yeah, that was Lanny Rowe, guy he raced for, called
Okay.
the shop in Greenville, Texas.
Okay.
That was his number, and Lanny said, you can take it over and have it. And Jason said, okay, I'm going to do this because he gave him his biggest opportunity, racing sprint cars.
I got you.
Lanny did. He had trucks and trailers and all that stuff for
So
him.
the BMX, they have a number?
It's issued. It's
Issued?
earned. It's an earned number. The first one's issued, and after that's earned.
I got you.
Till
So
you
it
quit racing.
changes. It changes.
It changes every year.
Yeah.
Correct. But for some kids, like his state number stays number one because he's always the first in the state all the time.
That's something to be proud of, Ryder, for sure. That's pretty awesome. That's if it drops a 2, you're gonna have to hit the gym more
Yeah.
or something. You're gonna have to start practicing some more, huh? Yeah. Well, I appreciate y'all coming on. Like, I appreciate y'all coming all the way down here and coming and talk to us for the big race stuff coming up. What is the Memorial Day race? Is that the Brickyard?
Back in the day, we on Speed Vision, after we'd get back from Forest Hill in the 90s, you could wake up at 6:30 the next morning and watch Monaco F1 racing. And then you would go out, mow the grass. At 12 o'clock, you would come in, you watch the Indianapolis 500. from 12 to 3. Then at 3 o'clock, you would go finish the grass. And then at 5 o'clock, you would come watch the Coke 600, which normally lasts from 5 to 9 because it's 600 miles. So the day before Memorial Day is considered the biggest day of racing in the world. So that's why they call the month of May. And Indy used to be bigger than it is. Hopefully Roger Penske can get it back to where it used to be. But now they used to have a bump day on qualifying. Well, now they only have 33 cars, so they don't have a bump day, and they start 33 cars 3 wide for the Indy. So it's May, especially Memorial Day weekend, is a big weekend of racing. Like a lot of the dirt tracks, so they'll do big stuff. So it's always a good weekend. If you're not going to go all year long,
Yeah.
May
Memorial Weekend is a big weekend to go watch a bunch of races.
The weekend, yeah.
Because they'll do a lot of special events. The late models here, sprint cars there, wing modifieds. There's probably 90 to 100 different classes, I guess, maybe across the United States, if not more.
Yeah.
Yeah, Galen's bucket list is Monaco.
Monaco.
That's
a huge bucket
Yeah,
list.
like if you could just like throw a pin and just have unlimited money, and
Monaco
would be it.
So, but also Eldora. I haven't been to Eldora.
Yeah,
I want to go watch a late model race at Eldora at some point. That's about it.
Yeah,
As far as racing goes.
There's a lot on my bucket list, but I just can't afford that. There's a lot of stuff on the East Coast up there, like asphalt racing, that I've been watching and reading about all my life. Yeah, there's tracks up there that I'd love to go to.
It's surprising how many tracks there is. That's now that you have social media and you can see that stuff.
Correct.
It's like, where has this been? And it's been around for 30 years and you just didn't know about
30,
it.
40, 50 years.
Yeah.
I got them magazines, newspaper magazines forever. So that's how I kept up with all that fun stuff. Yeah. But we sure do appreciate y'all having us up
Yeah,
here.
absolutely. I've learned a lot. Ryder, I'm gonna go watch you on YouTube. I'm gonna Google you, and I'm happy to have been able to meet a state champion BMX rider and have him on the podcast. That's pretty cool. So I do appreciate y'all coming. And
same here. And
you want to say anything, Ryder?
And sorry again for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, we'll have them all worked out the next go round.
Yep.
We have no idea that anything went wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, good. Thanks to my lovely wife.
Thanks for
Mary.
having us.
Thanks.
If y'all are bored on June the 6th, we'll have our last bout of street racing here in Leesville. We call it King of the Block. It's in downtown.
Do you believe that? That's crazy.
It's Yeah, you talked to Brock about it. So if y'all have a fast car, a street car, you can just bring it and race it with us. You go 300, however fast you can go in 330 feet. So
It don't go fast.
it doesn't go fast. Well,
It goes fast enough, but it doesn't go fast.
yeah, it's a pretty good deal.
I've seen some videos.
Yeah, we're going to be down there on June the 6th, and that'll be the last one until a new administration gets seated and see how they approve that event or not. And we start usually around 8 or 9 o'clock, and then the racing starts around 11:30, 12. So
This will be the last one, so maybe it'll be the biggest one.
yeah, hopefully it's the biggest one. Hopefully we get a lot of turnout from that, and just we'll enjoy ourselves. Unfortunately, we can't let motorcycles go because it is extremely dangerous to let motorcycles just go in the middle of town.
That's the reason we should let them go.
Yeah.
Come on, I got ABS.
He's like, I'm good. So y'all come down and join us in Main Street. That's going to be near the railroad station over by All Hours Fitness on June the 6th. And we'll have food there. We'll have, there's going to be all kind of stuff going on that day. So come down and see us. And again, thank you guys so much for coming up and doing the podcast with us.
Todd, I apprite y'all coming.
Yeah,
It was good
absolutely.
to talk about the old days for a little while.
Yeah, exactly right. Even though somebody might not say, what the hell are they talking about? Some fun, crazy racing, man. Shoot, that's
Keith
what we
Mansell's going to be making a phone call after this.
I'll have to write him a check.
Uh-oh. Bomb dinner. He'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
No, we really appreciate it. Thank y'all for having us.
Yeah. Thank y'all
Of course,
so
thank
much.
y'all for coming.
Thank y'all.
Yeah. All right. Stay tuned next week for the next episode of Locally Hated.